Good evening, everyone. Sorry about that. Actually working on a few things last second, and now it's just going to be fun to see how everything progresses as the show goes on. But how is everybody doing? Hey, I see there's someone new in the chat. And you know what? We actually have things to play now, so let me go find your name. Hold on a second. Yeah, Umbus45, welcome. Always like seeing
welcome.
a new face. Let's playing the little, I don't know how loud that is. I'm still working on the audio for stuff.
Yeah, we're having audio issues. By the way, is something playing right now?
Yes, there was. That was if they, I don't know if you guys heard it or not, but we actually have alerts now. I just replayed the one for Umbus since he followed while we weren't live, so yeah, confirm that you heard that, because if you didn't, then oh well. Yes, Mike, a little on the loud side compared to you all. Well, yeah, the alerts tend to be a little bit louder sometimes. I'm still adjusting all of that. I'll fix it later. It's not like it's going to be popping up every 5 seconds. We're not that popular.
Yet.
Yes.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that I'm coming through okay, not too loud, not too low. Because we were having problems where it sounded like I was too loud before.
Yeah, let me know about that, because I'm still adjusting the sliders on my end. If I'm at any point, you guys are the audio engineers, chat. So at any point, he sounds louder, I sound louder, or something sounds too loud, give me all the feedback so I can fix it.
I'm a little loud.
You are a little loud? Okay.
Yeah, it seems like we're both a little loud, maybe.
I see, everybody's going to have a different opinion on this, so I'm going to need a consensus. Sorry for all you future audio listeners. You're like, these guys are still trying to figure out their shit after all these months I've been listening.
There's a lot of stuff we're doing behind the scenes.
Oh, there's a lot of editing I had to do. Yeah, I am a little loud. I can lower myself. There is a lot of editing I was doing today that was just fun, but a lot of time was put into it. So you'll see later. But yeah. Hey, 63, how's it going? That's Chuck, right? Chuck?
Yeah, Chuck. Hey, Chuck, how's it going?
Master Jones, Jason, welcome. Minus 2 minutes at launch. Was the music, by the way, we have music now on the starting soon screen. How was that? Was that too loud? Too low? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Is it fine? I don't know. I'm trying to get as much feedback as I can tonight. Because you spend hours tinkering around with all this stuff, you don't even know what you're doing. Which, you know, I refuse to look up guides and YouTube videos. I know that probably would have made things easier, but I wanted to kind of just figure out everything myself. So if I ran into a problem, it took longer to figure out and everything. Just notice my camera sliding.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Jessica. How are you doing?
Hey, Jessica.
Yeah, it's a new angle. I'm just trying to, I raised it up a little bit. I'm still working on what the best angle is.
Now you're too low.
I'm too low?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I turned it down because they said I was too high.
I turned you down, but now you're really low. You're very low. Whatever you did, you're very low.
Okay, well, turn me back up then. See, this is why we should only change it on.
No, I did, and you're still very low. So whatever you did, you lowered yourself too much. So I love it.
Do you want to do you want to raise it on your end?
Your end. I already did. I can't go anymore. So you lowered it too much.
Oh my God, Mike!
That wasn't me. You. Hey! You changed it. I didn't that time.
No, but the problem is you're changing it on your end, and I'm changing.
Well, if I let me put it back to whatever loud setting you had it on, and I'll adjust you, because now you're just too low.
Okay. I'm not cut out for this.
No, none of us are. It's a dumpster truck on fire all the time.
Is that better?
Yes,
I don't know.
Just leave it at that, and I'll adjust you. That's it. I will adjust you as we talk and do the show until I find the right balance that I'm happy with. Because, no offense to everybody in the chat, you guys will say it's great no matter what, and we do love that, but at the same time, that's feedback that I can't use. I want exact written notes from all of you later. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, because like I know my hearing is going because I just listen to this stuff way too loud over the years.
Yeah.
So like my hearing's going to be different than your hearing and everybody else's. Am I sounding okay now, chat? Like,
sounds better.
Okay, Mike says I'm okay, but also I don't trust Mike either.
But it's worth noting, everybody and everyone who's going to listen later, that my ears aren't the best. But I'm not relying on my ears this time. I'm looking at the mixer. So unless the mixer's lying to me, which is very possible.
Jessica says I sound okay.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Chuck says it's awful, completely bad. You know what? Just screw off. I don't care. You're gonna deal with it.
It's always been the dumpster truck on fire here, and I've always, ever since we started way back, Jacques, we were always messing with the audio. Always messing with the audio every time.
Audio is by far the hardest thing to get right. Like it's so fickle. Okay, so Umbus says I'm fine.
Okay,
that's good.
That's good. As long as we're fine most of the time, I'll accept that and move on. Thank you.
Okay, Chuck now telling the truth is saying I'm fine.
Anyways, how's everybody doing tonight? I know it's kind of still chilly here, which I was surprised because a couple days ago I was like sweating. It got so warm out, and then it dropped like 50 degrees, and now I'm cold again.
Yeah, same here. It's
yeah, nuts.
It's crazy. This bipolar weather. Between February and March has just been like the most insane weather. Just back and forth, back and forth. It's supposed to rain here tomorrow again. Like I don't know what's going on.
So some of you were asking last week, like, where's the stream? I missed it. Like, did you guys not do it? We did for the ones who were there. Some of you who were in the chat. It was like the apocalypse outside for me. I thought a tornado was going to touch down. That's how bad it was. And somehow the power was still on, but it was affecting everything else. And David actually tried to salvage it, but the cutting in and out of my connection in the stream and his audio is just completely jacked, Jacques. David's audio is so bad. So,
yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it back. You know what? I just went ahead and deleted our well, I'll talk about that later. I'm not going to mention that later, but
the good thing is, Jacques, you're an admin and you can log into Balanced Gamers. It's unlisted, so you can watch the broken version anytime you want. It's there.
Ooh, yay! I can't wait to do that.
The IP access. So I just want to jump straight into something because everybody's talking about it right now, and I know Jacques wanted to bring it up. What has everybody in the chat? How has your spring Steam sale shopping been going? Because a lot of people have been buying stuff. I haven't yet, but I know Jacques has bought quite a few things, and I don't even remember what you bought. Actually, to be honest, that's how forgetful I am.
I could bring it up and tell you guys while we get responses from chat.
Heck yeah. What you guys been buying?
Now that I have a nice PC and I'm not afraid something is going to crash if I bring up like multiple windows at a time.
You know, it's so nice having 48 gigabytes of RAM in a machine. I can have so many windows open and not worry. Because when I was using my Steam Deck or my laptop, if I opened up an extra window, the whole thing was going to crash. The whole thing. I couldn't do anything. I could maybe have chat open, but that was it.
So I got, so far, I don't know if I'm done yet, but so far I got Half-Life 1, Half-Life 2, with like DLC. I think it has all the DLC. I got Portal 2. I got the original Deus Ex Game of the Year edition. I got the System Shock remake. I got System Shock 2. I got Dead Space remake. I got Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I got Dead by Daylight, including the Alan Wake and Resident Evil DLCs. And, that's it so far. But, yeah, I don't think I'm done yet.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm cleaning up. I'm doing pretty well. This is like my first Steam sale, so I'm pretty excited.
This is my second one. I got a bunch of $2-3 games last time. This time I'm not really buying anything except for Half-Life Alyx, which I will pick up in a couple of days. Like that's because if now that I have the Alienware, I have the MetaQuest, which can be used for PC VR. Now I have no reason to not play this game. But I could have gotten it before, but I wanted to wait because Valve always puts Alyx on sale for like $20-$25 only during the season sales. Like so 3 times a year they'll put it on sale. So if I don't buy it now, I'm gonna have to wait till summer, or winter.
No, I think they do a summer sale.
Oh,
too.
that's right, they do. So it would be
yeah,
summer.
there's summer, there's winter, and I think spring is fairly new, right? This is only like the second year.
No, they've been doing this for a while.
Okay.
No, they've been doing this for years. This isn't new.
I might also get Alyx as well. I'm not sure. I think I probably should, because like
the best single player VR game, everybody says.
Right. Yeah, it's like I got the MetaQuest now. I might as well, right? Let's see. Jessica says she loves Dead by Daylight. She plays it every few days. Yeah, I'm trying to play it more now because I do like the game a lot. And like I know a lot of people that play it. So like I have it on my consoles, but I got it on the PC so like I can actually play it with people on here. And then when I start streaming again on my personal channel, my Kipsock channel, which I plan to do like probably in a few weeks. I don't know. I'm still working on like getting hardwired in and upgrading my connection, stuff like that. But that's probably one I will be streaming, Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. So. Let's see. Who in the chat, did they mention any games they picked up, or didn't they say anything? I wasn't paying attention.
Let's see here. Well, Master Jones thinks I got all bangers, so thank you for that. I agree. Let's see. Yeah. Jessica says she never has any money when the sales happen. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I can relate to that. So there's a reason why I'm only going to be able to pick up Half-Life Alyx. That's it.
Chuck said MLB The Show just came out, so no purchases. Yeah, that's on the Game Pass. We'll also, I'm going to be downloading that as well. Can't wait to play that.
97.5 gigabytes. Already finished it the other day, so it's a big boy.
Let's see. Umbus, our newest. Did you say he subscribed or followed?
He followed us.
He followed.
If he wants to subscribe, he'll hear a new sound because he already heard the first sound. But
let's see. So trying to figure out if I should buy something on sale or wait until the PC release of Ghost of Tsushima. Also, decks are dumb. You and David would get along. When is the PC release of Ghost of Tsushima?
That's a good question. I would base it off of that because if it's going to be a couple of months or longer, then just dive into the Steam sale now and get the game later or when it comes out. But if it's like imminent, if it's coming out in a couple of weeks, then I can understand you wanting to hold off. I don't remember the release date. So, hey, Allie. I just saw your name pop up down there.
Oh, hey, how's it going, Allie? Welcome.
Welcome.
She says she's going to pre-order Alone in the Dark this Wednesday. Yeah, I'm very curious about that game. I want to see more on it. But you know me, I love like horror and survival horror, so I'm like really, really interested. Everything I've seen so far looks pretty good. But you know how like trailers and stuff can lie to you. So
I feel like that game is either going to be really, I feel like it's going to be really good, or it's going to be just blah. I don't feel like doesn't feel like an in the middle of the road game to me. I feel like it'll either surprise a lot of people or it's going to disappoint a lot of people. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's clearly taking heavy inspiration from like Resident Evil 2 remake. So that's one of my favorite games of all time, as you know. So if it's anything close to that, then I will for sure pick it up. Let's see. I think and Sarah said that May 16th is the PC release of Ghost of Tsushima. That's coming up pretty soon.
Oh, that's 2 months. Go have fun in the spring sale. That's 2 months, bud.
Yeah, because like by May 16th, like when is the summer sale? By May 16th, like the summer sale won't be far behind that either. Yeah. So I don't know. You could probably buy a few cheap games on this sale.
here's the question, Bus. What games are you looking at that are on
Yeah,
sale?
good question.
Because I would like to know. Because for reasons. I'm not going to say why, but I'm curious. What are those games?
Hey, what's up, George? How you doing, buddy?
George.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, good. No, I was gonna read Jason's
Yeah.
too. It says, hopefully Alone in the Dark is better than Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah, you want to talk about that kind of disaster
Yeah,
of a release?
sure. I mean, that's how we met. The original Battlefront 2 game came
It is.
out back in 2005, but I don't think we were interacting with each other until 2006. That was a really great game at the time, and it very innovative in how you play multiplayer games and all that stuff. It was a great fun. So the Star Wars collection came out a couple days ago. It has the first Battlefront from 2004 and the 2005 one just bundled in together with a little bit of upgrades in the resolution department, the frames per second, and they included all the DLC. They even went out of their way and included some maps that you can play in the other Battlefront game that wasn't the case back in the day, so there's some cool things they did there. Unfortunately, the original Battlefront games relied on just a regular gamer's internet. Like, he would be the host. Your internet would be the server for a room. And that's how it was. When you looked at the lobbies back in the day, it was just that guy's internet's connection on hosting a room. They did not have dedicated servers. So Spire decided to kind of do something about that, but they only put 3 or 4 servers up. So now, if you don't have a private server with a bunch of people that you want to play with, and you can't get in the public servers, can't really play online. So it's not good. I thought they would have figured that out, but no.
Mind you, there was like 10,000 people at launch, like trying to get online, and they only had 3 public servers up, like per platform.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's like 64 players per server. So do the math. It's not good.
No.
I don't know what Aspire was thinking.
Last I looked on Steam, it has about the score has about 20% user score of thousands of reviews. So there's a lot of people refunding the game. Now, if you don't care about the online, you just want to play the offline works perfectly fine with no issues. There's nothing like actually wrong with the actual game itself. Like, it functions and everything. It's just there's a online server problem where, I'm sorry, I mean, back in the day, this is not an issue for us back in the day because me and Jacques played in leagues and we're on clans and huge teams of like 50, 60, 80 people, and these leagues had like hundreds of people and stuff. We didn't have an issue with that, but you fast forward to 2024, that's a problem. So we don't have that many people to just pull together. We'd have to play against the AIs, which is fine, but it's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it's disappointing. It's because a lot of people were looking forward to this, and like I said, I just don't know what Aspire was thinking. Like, they should have known. Like, it's just not enough servers, and you really have to provide better server support. Like, I think they did add some more after launch, but I still don't know if it's where it needs to be.
No.
And not only the servers, but also there was like really there's problems with like people rubber banding. I saw like a lot of people's connections were like 200, 300 ping. Like, it's not good. So
no.
I hope they get that fixed soon, because I'm not going to buy it until they fix that. I really want to play, man. It's so nostalgic. I really want to play.
Everybody's just saying to go download the original and just get mods.
Yeah, apparently, like Battlefront 2, the original has like this saga mod, which includes like 15 new game modes, better everything, pretty much. A lot better than this classic collection, apparently. Umbus is like, he says, I am still playing Greedfall, have Midnight Suns still to play. He's looking at Hotel, Cyberpunk, Spider-Man. He has $50 sitting there, and wait, what? You love the Steam Deck hate rebuilding wood decks. Oh, okay, got you. I thought you were saying you hated the Steam Deck earlier, but you hate wooden decks.
Okay, so
Okay.
you're a new follower. Are you from the Steam Deck enthusiast group, and did you join the Balanced Gamers group? Might have been one of the. I see. I'm trying to pin a name to everybody here, so if you can give me a first name, I'll know who you are probably immediately. Unless your name is George, then I'm going to be confused because there's like 8 Georges in the group,
Yeah.
so I don't know. That might be
I really wish there was some feature on Twitch where you could
nickname.
like link, like nicknames, or like link your like name or something to like some other social media, so it would display if you kind of click on their name. Because it is like the more people would get it, it's like it's hard to keep track of everybody's names.
There's a couple Seans in the group. I
Oh,
think I know what Sean
yes.
that is. It's not our. It's not the Sean we've known for years, but I
Yeah.
think I know. I think I know. Okay, I think I know who
That's
you are.
funny 'cause
Yes.
it's like we know a lot of Georges and Sean's, so it's like, but welcome in.
Sean's, Mike's, George's. You guys are killing me here. If we get any more Georges in the group, I'm gonna go lose it. Can't remember everybody.
Jessica says she's looking at Eternites, Diablo 4, Crisis Core. Her wish list is like 80 games long and keeps growing. Let's see.
I have 125, I think, in my wish list. Now, keep in mind, it's a lot of games I have on other platforms. I just want Steam versions of them.
I got to get to work adding some. I'm nowhere near you guys. I think I only have like, I don't know, 10 or 11 or something. I had more, but I bought a lot. But yeah, I'm still nowhere near you guys. Let's see. Chuck says he picked up Dead by Daylight. That's cool. Cool. Last Sale, haven't played yet. On to play list. The Chucky character had you wanting to try it. Oh, okay, so you're a big like Child's Play fan.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good series. It's actually probably one of the better classic horror series, I think. Like as far as consistency, because like the other like Friday and Nightmare and stuff, they had some real stinkers in there. But I felt like generally Child's Play was pretty consistent.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that, especially in the Halloween series because I went through those not that long ago, and there's a lot of bad ones in that series. But there's some good ones, but there's I'd say there's definitely more bad ones than good ones in that series. If you want to go into the Rob Zombie ones, all of that. Yeah. Jessica said, "Yeah, Jacques, you need to add more for reasons." Evil grin. Yeah.
I'll get on it.
I get that. All right. Well, yeah, but we have to make sure we don't spend too much in these Steam sales because it's very easy. You'd be like, oh, $1 here, $4 here, $3 here. It's going to add up. Or you're going to be spending like $200 on games. Umbus, I'm sure you already know this, but Sean, sorry, stop calling you Bus. Check out Fanatical and Humble because sometimes the sale prices, like during a seasonal sale on Steam, can be cheaper on Fanatical or Humble. So it's worth checking there, or go to GG Deals website and then it'll tell you which of the official authorized retailers has it the cheapest. Like, use that as a guide, or any of you guys for that matter. Chuck said Leprechaun was dope.
Yeah,
Never seen it.
I kind of. You never seen the Leprechaun movies?
No.
Okay. I think the last one I saw was like Leprechaun in the Hood, and that was when I was like, okay, I think I'm done. Like I'm good on Leprechaun. I think that was like the 4th or 5th one. I don't know, but fun fact: Jennifer Aniston was in the first Leprechaun before her Friends fame.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
They should add Leprechaun to Dead by Daylight. That'd be like a
They
good.
haven't? I thought they did already.
No, just Child's Play, Chucky and Tiffany. Those are like the only 2 small characters.
Okay. Well, if Issa was in here, she'd know immediately if he was in there or not. But I don't.
I'm pretty sure he's not.
Yeah, to be fair, I've never seen him, so that makes sense. So I think like the first big one they got in that game was Freddy. Jason, not Jay. Jason was not in there. No one was.
No,
Freddy or Leatherface.
Yeah, like Jason would be in Dead by Daylight if it wasn't for that whole lawsuit stuff with the writer for the original Friday, which is settled now apparently. But thanks for screwing up our game. we were gonna get DLC for Friday for the 13th, but nope.
No.
Victor Miller. I can't be too mad because it's like, you know, he did write the first movie, so it's
He
like,
did.
but you know, whatever. I still want my DLC. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I don't follow that IP. The only reason why I know a lot about that lawsuit and everything is because NECA Toys had a big Friday the 13th line, and they were going through so many issues with that. So that's why I'm aware of it. It's a pain in the butt getting that IP. I think it's as hard as getting like Back to the Future or one of those. Ugh.
Hold on.
Yes.
Sarah says there is a new Leprechaun movie coming in this year with Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones. Are you serious?
That sounds like one of those fan ideas that you'd read on Reddit somewhere. I need confirmation of this.
Yeah, we need confirmation. I am morbidly curious about that because I think WWE did a Leprechaun movie with Hornswoggle. You remember that guy?
I know him, but I didn't know they did this.
Yeah, they did like some movie, and I was just like, why? Like, so, but if they're doing like a legit another movie with Peter Dinklage, like, first of all, like, I'm surprised Peter Dinklage would do that, but cool.
Funny.
I mean, I'll at least check it out. Yeah.
Let's see. Ali said, "Yes, I'll be playing Mass Effect this Friday, Mike. I would have done it last Friday, but did a 4-hour stream." Yeah, I've been getting on your case about that for a while now. It's gonna be one of those. Why haven't I played this before?
This is your first playthrough, Ali? Oh man, I gotta check that out when you do that. I want to see your reactions.
Ugh. All right. So I know you didn't watch it last night, Jock, but I wanted to talk about it briefly. You didn't Valerian in the City of Thousand Planets. So I sat in the VR theater and watched it again for the second time. And I know you're a big Fifth Element fan.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna switch windows right now. If you guys, I'm gonna actually. Full disclosure for any future watchers, listeners, this is well within transformative fair use. I just have the trailer with no sound playing on the side over here, just so you guys can see. Perfectly fine.
Ooh, that looks nice. I see it.
Yeah. So So thing about Fifth Element. I like the movie, but like there's a small part of me. I know I'm gonna get axed in the back for saying this. That feels like it's slightly overrated. But I still like the movie a lot. That movie, fun fact, that movie cost $90 million to make. Valerian, like, hold on to your seats because I didn't know this. This is the most expensive European movie ever made. It was like $250 million budget, something like that, and it bombed. It only made $40 million. Ish box office. I'm sure they made a little bit more money since it's been out on streaming to rent and to buy physical, whatever. When I first saw this movie, I was very mixed on it, and I could totally see the criticism about like all the complaints people had. But I still, at the end of the day, I was like leaning towards liking it. But upon watching it a second time, I think I like this movie a little bit more now. Just want to say this, like, all of the criticism for this movie is justified. I mean, like, what some people are saying, they're right. I agree with a lot of it, but at the same time, I just think it's a fun movie. Like, I think it's really cool. I think the universe is awesome. That's the best part about the movie. It has a very, how would I put this? I don't want to say Mass Effect, but there's like certain sections of this movie that remind me of Mass Effect, like the City of a Thousand Planets. It kind of reminds me of the Citadel a little bit. And I don't know. It's just I think that's one thing that everybody agrees with. Everybody thinks the universe is cool. It looks beautiful. The movie, the CGI looks nice, and all of that. The main issue, I think, one of the main issues people have were the two main leads. It felt like they were very stiff and not a lot of charisma and just there. I don't know. I think they were fine, personally.
Well, it was like what? It was Cara Delevingne and Dane
Dan
DeHaan,
DeHaan,
right?
yes, that's the
Yeah, I think Cara Delevingne was like not even really acting for that long, because I think she was a model before.
yes, you're right. Her
Yeah,
acting
and like
is not bad in this. Actually, I think people give her too much shit in this movie. I thought her acting was fine. Respect, it's very good for someone who's never acted, really. Very, very little. But I'm sorry, I cut you off. What were you gonna say, Jacques? My bad.
I think it probably just didn't have the star power, right? Like that's why they cast lead like known quantities in leads, because it does attract an audience.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the issues. And this was it sucks because Luc, what's the director's name? Luc
Besson.
Besson.
Is it Luc Besson?
That
yeah.
sounds,
Didn't he do Lucy?
Yes, you also did
Right
Lucy.
that? Okay, that's a good movie. Yeah.
This was like a big passion project for him. He wanted to make this movie. So I read more up about it. He wanted to make this movie for years and years and years. And then when he saw Avatar came out, his original thoughts were like, I can't make. There's so many aliens and stuff in this movie. Like this is just not feasible to do. It would be too expensive or whatever. Then James Cameron's Avatar movie came out, and then he was like, you know what? This might be possible now. It's kind of like how George Lucas felt when he saw Jurassic Park and then he wanted to do the prequel trilogy. He said, okay, I think we're at that point now where I can do this. So, similar feelings, but it just sucks that it didn't quite hit the note for a lot of people. This is based off of a French comic book from the late 60s, early 70s. I've never read it, but that's where this comes from. And I'm just going to assume that the two main characters in the movie probably don't accurately represent the main characters that are in the comic. That could be an issue a lot of people were having. I have no attachment to the old stuff. I've never read any of it, so if I was a big fan of it and then I saw this, I may have a completely different opinion on the two main characters in the movie. So I know Sarah was watching it with me. She said she really enjoyed the movie. And she was a trooper, by the way, because you might have COVID. She was really sick while watching this. I'm surprised that she even stayed awake. But she did watch the whole movie. It is. There's no point in this movie where you feel bored, which is always a plus to me. There's not a moment in this movie I felt like there's nothing going on and it's just a slog and it's moving as a snail pace. That I didn't feel that at all with Valerian. I don't know. One day, Jacques, I do want you to watch this because I am curious. If I had to go out on a limb, I don't think you're gonna like the two main characters.
Is it a long movie?
The runtime, I think, is 2 hours and 17 minutes, but you have to take into account 10 minutes of credits-ish. So a little over 2 hours, 205, 206 actual footage.
I had planned to watch it today earlier, but I honestly just forgot because I wanted to watch it so I could talk about it with you.
Right.
Because I know it's not as fun when it's like just one person seeing it and the other person is like, I don't know what the hell's going on. So I wanted it to be more of like a back and forth. So I apologize about that.
Oh, that's fine.
I was supposed to join you guys last night, but I was just like so exhausted. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make more movie nights though.
And I made it look the best it's looked. Last night I had to change a bunch of settings, and I'm still not happy with what I have, but it looks a lot better now in our VR stream. So it was very crisp. It's just now I can actually. I didn't know Amazon Prime allowed you. I know like some services like Netflix allows you to do this, but I didn't know that Amazon on the browser actually allows you to download the movie, watch it offline. It has it so you can watch it locally on your machine instead of streaming it. So that's going to improve the quality even more going. So if we watch a movie that's on Amazon. But
James Trainer is in the house. What's
hey,
going
James,
on?
How's it going?
Nice of you to join us.
Oh, you made it an hour earlier. Yes. Well, actually, 2 hours earlier. We used to do 9 o'clock Eastern time on Sundays. Now we do 7 Saturday. So 2 hours.
This is much better in my opinion.
Yes. I'm dead tired after the 9 o'clock ones. So,
Sean, I'm sorry, I just wanted to
go
mention
ahead.
Sean's comment. He said there's only one true comic book movie, and that's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from the 90s. Are you referring to the 1990 original? Because if you are, I love that movie. I grew up on that movie. I had the VHS, and I watched it like religiously. Like, I still think the original 90 Turtles movie is the best. Like, because they took it so seriously. That's what I loved about it. Like, it had high stakes. I'm going to shut up because this is not a review on the Turtles movie. This is a Valerian.
You can go ahead and talk about the Turtles. I don't care.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I would like to hear you talk.
I wanted to fanboy out for a sec.
Yeah, the turtle. Those outfits always make me laugh, especially that one scene where you can actually see the guy's mouth, the guy's head, actual head inside the mask and stuff, and they didn't cut that part, but it's in the movie.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I love that.
So who in this chat besides Sarah has seen this movie?
Valerian?
Yes. Let us know. Have you seen this?
I remember Valerian when it came out too, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cool! Like, I want to see this." And then I just never saw it. So I almost feel like I have to watch it at this point.
Yeah, you have. I think if you're a fan of The Fifth Element, I'll say this: it does remind. There's elements of this. There's elements of Fifth Element. There's elements of Fifth Element in this movie. I could definitely see it, and I think both films do a really good job at creating a really interesting and exciting and wow-looking universe. This does that too. I don't agree. One of the complaints I don't agree with, people say the story's not good at all. I thought the story was, I'm not saying it was great, but I thought it was fine. Like it was not one point in the movie where I felt like, where's this going? Like, oh, this sucks or anything. Like people wanted to see more of the universe, like explore it more, show how it ticks and works and everything. But people gotta remember, this is a 2-hour movie. I mean, there's only so much they can cram in there. It's some of the reviews. It sounds like they wanted a 3.5-hour movie, and this movie was already $250 million. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think less is more. We don't need to make things longer. No. We don't need to make more things. I think we need to make less things, if anything, because there's way too much entertainment out there right now.
I think, if I'm remembering correctly, just before I forget, I think John Goodman plays a character in this briefly. An alien.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a big alien.
Oh, yeah. I love John Goodman.
Yeah.
Like, he just kind of pops up, like, every now and then. But, like, what year did this movie come out? It was at least, like, 5 years ago.
Well, it's 2017.
Okay, so, yeah, like, 6 or 7.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, let me go get those real quick. I have them on the wall.
As Mike gets up, he's walking across his room. He's grabbing something off the shelf. I don't know what it is yet. What will it be?
I'm glad you're doing that for the audio listeners because they can't see what we're doing. So, I have NECA made a Valerian line.
I'm kind of surprised they made Valerian figures.
Well, I'm actually not surprised because they like to make niche shit and that nobody else is going to make for the most part. And that could be good or bad. Sometimes they just abandon the lines. They only made 3 figures, though, but it was the only ones you would want. Here's how the camera... I can't see, so you're going to have to tell me if this is centered.
It's a bad reflection off the... whatever that...
Which angle is... I'll just leave it here.
I would probably just turn it... So you can put it close to the camera, but just turn it on an angle. I believe that might help it.
How about that?
Yeah, that's
okay,
that's
there
great.
we go. So there's Dan DeHaan. That's the actor's name. This is
Dane. I think it's Dane DeHaan.
Okay.
Yeah, turn it a little bit more. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. I'm sorry, my camera's bad, but yeah, they made 7-inch scale action figures. Here's him. Kara's character here.
They probably, your screen is minimized. They'd probably be better if you could maximize.
Oh yeah, you're right. Let's get out of this screen. Hold on a second. Let's go back to the old one. There we go. That's a little bit better. I mean,
they've probably seen the trailer 50 times at this point.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah. There you go.
That's good. Okay. Yep.
There she is. Kind of looks like her. And then, of course, these guys, which I wish they were in the movie a little bit more. I mean, they're in important parts, but
The heck is that?
that's a K-tron. It's a big robot. They're like military robots, soldiers.
Okay.
Yeah. No, there's. But I remember picking these up. The funny thing is, I bought these before even watching the movie, which is rare for me. Usually, if from a collector's collecting point of view standard, you would watch something first. If you really liked it, then you would go pick up the merchandise. But I decided to go get it because these were a limited run, so I was like, you know what? I like spacesuits. I like sci-fi, so I'm gonna like it. I don't like them.
Watch like one day that movie's going to be a cult classic in like, I don't know, Zimbabwe or something. And they're just going to be worth a ton. Like you're just going to clean up like 20 years from now.
It has a very small cult following. The people who like it love it. I don't love it, but I do like it for what it is.
I can respect that though. There's a lot of movies from my childhood that are like objectively bad. Not saying this movie is bad, but just they're real bad. But you're like, you just have such a nostalgia for it. You'll like buy anything regarding that property. So, yeah.
Hey, Urkel.
Hey, Urkel. There you are. Hey, Urkel, make sure that we are not frozen on the starting soon screen this time for you. Okay? Because I remember last time he went like a good amount of length of the show before he realized that like we were talking in the background or he was waiting for us to start. And it was like 40 minutes into the show. And he's like, oh shit, I missed like the first part of the show.
I remember this now. Yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah. Don't do that again. Was that our fault? Is that his fault?
No, it's. I mean, it's really nobody's fault. It's just like Twitch, probably, or something. You know, you got to refresh. You know, sometimes you don't know it doesn't refresh.
Sometimes when I'm watching Ali's or Issa's or whoever stream, like every once in a while, it will just pause the video. It'll just stop it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like a freeze, like and disconnect like it's my internet. I'll literally go look at the player and it will have the pause thing on. So
that's weird. I have this thing that keeps happening and I don't understand why, but it's only on console because I like to watch Twitch on my big TV on my console. And I'll just say I just have like a video sitting in the background for like a while. It'll just stop the video. And I think, oh, they're done with the stream. They ended it. And I'll like go back out, refresh. It's like, no, they're still going, but it just decides to stop my video. And it does that all the time. And I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know if there's some kind of idle setting where it just like stops it after a while, but I don't know if anybody in chat knows about this. If you can tell me what's going on.
I have no clue what's going on there. It does that to me sometimes as well. The only thing I do understand is YouTube. Like if you have YouTube running for a long time, I think a window will pop up if you're on your computer, at least. I don't know about the other devices. Maybe it doesn't on mobile as well. But it will ask you like, "Are you still watching?" And it'll stop it for a second. And if you just said yes, and it goes and resumes. Like I'm like, that's fine. I understand that. But like with Twitch and some of these other things, it just does stuff behind the curtains, and I don't even understand what it's doing. No explanation. It just does it.
I think you can probably change that YouTube setting.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Make a note of that right now.
I think you might be able to. Or you're just, I think everything should have a setting where you're just like, leave me alone. Like, just let it play. Because a lot of people, like, and myself included, like to fall asleep to YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. So I have it set to just like continuously autoplay.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And like my TV settings, I think turn off after like 4 hours or something. So it'll just turn itself off.
That is wise. I think everybody should have some sort of a safety timer on your devices. It's been on too long and it's inactive. I think on my PlayStation 5, I have it set to 3 hours of inactivity, and it's going to turn off. I think because you never know. Like, let's say you have like 10 devices on in your house, and then an emergency happens. You have to run out of the house to go somewhere or whatever that emergency is. I mean, your house is fine, but you have to leave like right now, and you forget to turn off everything. Probably wise to have settings like that implemented. And if you have one of these little guys there, you can even have them turn everything off if you want.
Is that an Amazon Dot?
Yes, it is. It's right there. Always
I'm
listening.
I'm seriously thinking about getting one of those.
I love it. It makes me two reasons why I got it. Obviously, the main one is to remind me of stuff I forget easily. But the second reason is like there's a lot of times I want to look up something, like I need to look up. I don't know. Every day, a lot of us use Google or some search engine to look up something, and I want to try to cut back on screen time a little bit. So I just ask this thing, and it tells me, which I'm fine with. It's less of me looking at my phone. So I'm totally okay with that, and very helpful. It's reminds me of a lot of stuff, and it gives me all kinds of alerts, everything. Like it's been a little nice assistant to have, and you know me, I like to have a little bit of sci-fi everywhere. So having this little thing in there is like I have a little stick AI just sitting there waiting to be called on. Sometimes it does notify you with Amazon stuff, and a little yellow thing will pop up. Not annoying or anything, but it's something I wish I can kind of turn down a little bit. But other than that, fun. Where are the Mingos? Have the Mingo. Oh, he's wearing a Mingo shirt. What are you talking about?
Yeah, here's my Mingo shirt I got from Ash and Indy.
Oh. Here. You happy?
You know what? That might be a good segue.
Okay, sure.
I'm right. I said I had a surprise.
Yes, what is it?
All right. Hold on one sec. Talk for a second.
Sure. As I put the Mingo on my shoulder. You think I could do the entire show at this rate, just like that? Without it falling? That would require me not to move this entire arm the whole time, which kind of sucks. Okay, what do you got here? What is this?
Okay. So, I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, right? And I went down to the hospital, and it was just a normal checkup, like nothing's wrong. I just have checkups every 6 months for my cystic fibrosis. So I'm in good health, don't worry, everything's good. And they have a, like hospitals, they have a gift shop. And I was as you're walking outside by the windows, like you can see everything set up on the window. And something happened to catch my eye. I was like, oh, I got to go in there. I've never been in this gift shop the entire, 17 years I've been going to this place. So I go after my appointment, I come down, go into the gift shop, and I pick this up.
What in God's green earth is that? Oh, I didn't think it was going to be that big. Okay. Well, can yours do this?
It cannot, no.
Okay.
So I got a giant stuffed flamingo.
No, see, that's taking it too far for me. Not the size, the eyes. Like that, it looks like that's staring into my soul. I don't know if I can have that. No, that's... Yeah. No. Audio listeners, you're missing out right now. There's a flamingo that's... The head of this flamingo on this stuffed animal is probably bigger than Jacques' head right now. About the same.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's and its body is even bigger than its head. Its body is probably bigger than my head. And it's got dangly legs too. It's this giant plush. You know what it is? It's actually those what is that, TY? Those it's a famous brand of stuffed.
Oh yeah. Those little beanies that they make.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, this thing I was shocked when I saw the price. It was $42 for this thing, but I was I have to get this. I mean, it's just
that's very unique, though.
Yeah,
that's not a crazy. I thought you were gonna say I spent. Don't shoot me, but I spent $100 on this. So that's not that. Trust me.
It's really, really soft, and maybe I'll sleep with it. Not like that, but maybe I'll.
He's referring to the kid way of sleeping with your toy.
Right, exactly. Yeah, very wholesome way of sleeping with a stuffed animal.
What have we become here? I just want to remind everybody, and everybody who says about the flamingo, especially you, Allie, I want you to tell your BF Kuro this. I did not choose flamingos. They chose me. Remember that. They chose me. I didn't seek it out. Came to
I didn't
me.
choose the Mingo life. The Mingo life chose me.
And everybody says I'm crazy, but all of the stuff I heard behind the scenes, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Can't say it. I don't think I'm supposed to say it on the show, so nope. Jock knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yep. I'm not crazy. When I was told that just shattered my entire reality. That there is way more, there is actually activity surrounding flamingos. That's all I could say.
So do you think I should keep this with me the whole time we do the show, or do you think I should
that's up to you, but that's going to be very uncomfortable after a while. That's like if I put this on my shoulder the entire time.
It might be distracting too. It's kind of blocking my light too. It's like changing the light composition in my room.
Yeah, I mean it's got all the light on it. It's channeling all the light onto its own face. I don't like how it's looking at me though. If you think I'm going to keep a straight face the whole time, it's going to be hard to do. But
Jason is right. He said technically it's his fault, this whole flamingo thing, because he did start this.
Did actually. Well, you spotted the issue back in 2016. I wasn't aware of it, and it's become a thing. It's not just a thing within this community. I know some of you already know what we're talking about. Like Sean's probably like, what the heck are these guys talking about with this flamingo? I'll just elevator pitch real quick. I'll just say that we have noticed flamingos popping up in so many video games. And once somebody tells you this, you will start seeing them everywhere. They're there. Just go find them. Not saying every single game, but a lot of games out there have them in there in some way, shape, or form, and sometimes even in the marketing of their own game. And the one thing I can't say, someone in marketing told me, I've said this before on the show, but I'll just want to tell Sean who's listening, they are pushing flamingos in marketing. The other thing I can't talk about, but that I can say, but there is a push, not just in video games, everything. So I'm not crazy. I've looked in games I've played and have not found any. Well, you're playing the wrong games, bud. Actually, that's a good thing.
You'll find them, trust me. Now that you know, you won't be able to unsee it.
I also want to point something out. Just because you didn't find one doesn't mean it's not there. There has been games I played where it's like, it's not here. I played Aliens Dark Descent. There's no flamingos in this. I played through the entire game. I was very thorough. Wasn't just looking for them. But then I get a screenshot a few weeks later. And it was there. Hiding on the wall. So it's there.
Yeah, they're always lying in wait. They're always watching. They don't want you to see them. That's the whole point, because they're trying to take over the world. So just keep an eye out. I'm telling you.
Okay, Allie, you said you found a Mingo in Assassin's Creed Mirage. You didn't just find one flamingo. There's hundreds of flamingos in that game. So.
Chuck, he says, is there any in MLB The Show? I would think, like, what about the Miami Marlins? There's got to be some around their field.
I mean, I don't know how far that developer goes with animals, because I know in some of the parks we played at, the same four pigeons or seagulls are just flying around in the same formation just over and over and over. And these are guys who put a lot of detail into the crowd and a lot of little things that you normally wouldn't look at. As for the animal stuff, they haven't really messed around with that too much. But I won't rule it out. Maybe. In Fallout 76, I had to build my camp with a lot of flamingos in it because of this group. I've seen people do that. I've seen people do that in Fallout 4.
Urkel, you got to take pictures, man. You got to post them.
Yes, please. Post them in the group.
Do you belong to our private Facebook group? Because if you do, yeah, definitely post those.
Let's get off of this, please. We'll be talking about flamingos all night.
Yeah, I could give a whole dissertation on the Mingo world domination plot.
Like, I'm sure... Hold on a second. Stupid notification popped up on my screen. I'm sure it will come up again. It always does. It will come up again at some point during the show. Take 5 from it. Wait, hold on once. I'll read the last one. Just 2 here. Ali said, yeah, a lot of Mingo ones pointing a lot of Mingo one pointing. Kuro said that's Mike. Okay. I'll be honest. Chuck said, I have been looking for flamingos in real life too. Don't judge. Like looking over my shoulder. Well, they did land where Jacques lived. They actually had some flamingos land in his state, which is unheard of.
Yeah, Michigan.
So
very weird to see them up north here.
So he's actually there's people have encountered them at his place.
I mean, Chuck, why do you think that I have all this Mingo merch, dude? I've sold out. This is like a beacon to tell the Mingo world order that I am cool. I am cool. Like once they take over, I am on board. Like I will be their servant, no problem. Don't mess with the Illumingo Naughty. That's what I dubbed them to. Illumingo Naughty. Try saying that 5 times fast.
I don't want to. I'm good. I feel like we keep talking about it. We're gonna I saw an ad earlier. I should have. Here's the thing. I was gonna post it in the group, but we gotta save some flamingo stuff for the show. I've had an ad on YouTube. Jock's already seen this, and it had a bunch of flamingos in it. It wasn't related to flamingos. It was some lottery thing. So,
I imagine it's sort of like if you've ever seen the movie They Live, where Roddy Piper has these sunglasses, and when he puts them on, it allows him to see behind the veil, like what is actually there, and you start to see like all the billboard signs say "consume, obey," and it's like the aliens, are like controlling the population. That's the same with Mingos. It's like once you know. You can see the signs everywhere. World beyond the world.
Everybody I've told this to, they a lot of a few in particular were like, I hate you. I see them everywhere now. Put it in my mind, because when it's not in your mind, you don't look for it. Now you're gonna see it everywhere. All right. Enough of that nonsense. Let's talk about some games. So I already posted it in the group. I started the game called Lost in Random, and I know Jacques played some of it. I don't know if he's beaten it.
No.
It's a long game. I think it's like 13 hours. This was Steam gifted to me by Jessica, so appreciate that. That's awesome.
Oh,
I've
nice.
been playing it on the Steam Deck a little bit here, and I've been playing it even on the computer a little here. I only have about 3.5 hours in. I think that's about it. So still got a way to go. First impressions, I will say this. I think the universe is just bizarre in a good way. Like this entire society revolves around chance with the dice. And if you get roll a 1, when it's time, when you're 12 years old, you have to your rite of passage to roll the dice or whatever, and then if you get a 1, you're considered just a piece of shit and live in the low slums and you don't move up in life. You roll a 6, and you get to go. I don't even know where that is yet. I'm not that far in, but you go with that evil-looking queen. The moment you see the queen that everybody worships comes and visits, it just you know immediately it's the way it looks. But I could be wrong. Maybe later in the game it's a nice character, but got that evil tone to it. The world kind of it doesn't quite. Actually, it's not really like this at all. But for some reason, when I'm playing this game, I'm thinking of Alice in Wonderland.
Me too. I was going to say that. Yeah, those Alice games, it does have a similar vibe. Yeah.
And I was like, it's the queen, and there's like certain character designs that kind of remind me of that universe. That's probably why. One thing I noticed, I first started playing it on my Steam Deck, and I noticed there was like a bit of. It's called I forget what it's called. It's Chrome something. What is that setting? Chromo. You know what I'm talking about? The thing you're always telling me to turn off.
Yeah, chromatic aberration.
Chromatic aberration. Thank you.
I think it basically just like blurs like the edges or something,
Yes.
or I don't know if it's like an anti-aliasing thing or if it kind of just it like kind of blurs things a little bit. I don't like it personally. Usually.
Now, I've been turning it off every time I see it in a game, and I kind of can pick up what it looks like now and in the game, and I'm like, oh, that's on. I want to turn it off. Went to the settings. There was no setting for it, so I was like, oh, well, that's great. So it's just on by default now, so I can't do anything about it. And there's some other type of filter on, which, by the way, the settings, not many options there. You have motion blur, I think. I think that might be the only one. Anything else, very bare minimum. I thought maybe there were just disabled settings on the Steam Deck. I went on the computer. No, there's just nothing really there. So between that and whatever the heck they have on, everything kind of just looks blurry. Did you notice that when you're playing a Jacques? I played it on 4 different screens. I played it on the Steam Deck. I played it on 2 different monitors and a TV. And it has this... It's an artistic choice, too, but it has, like, just a blur to it. And it's not, like, really obvious, but if you're really looking at it, you could see everything's just kind of blurified, if that makes sense, what I'm trying to say.
Blurified.
And I don't like it. I don't like that. Give me the options to turn that shit off.
I don't recall because it's been so long since I played it, but yeah, I'll take your word for it. Like you said, it's probably an artistic choice.
It is. It's not bad looking. It's just there's a reason why they give you all these options usually in a game, because there's people who don't like motion blur. There's people motion blur depends on the game, but there's people who don't like those other settings and they want it. I don't like film grain, for instance. I don't like film grain in games. I think 90% of the games that have it on, makes it just look crappier. And you turn it off, it makes everything look crispy, nice. So
there are certain games where it makes sense, but usually I don't like it on because I want the clearest image possible.
Yes, exactly. So wasn't a fan of that. But as for the actual game itself, it's interesting. I don't know if I like it or dislike the gameplay. Like the combat, the hack and slash aspect of it, it's very simplistic. It's not bad, but I don't really care for it either. It's like maybe too simple. But I do like the fact that you have to throw this dice in the middle of the battle, and then you have to go whatever it rolls on, and then you have a whole card system, and then you can pick your cards to get power ups and stuff. And then when they first introduced that, I'm like, this is adding a whole new element to like a hack and slash game. Maybe this will change later on in the game. It just feels like there's not a whole lot of variety with the card stuff. It seems very samey. I'm sure that's going to change. I'm just probably early on. I'm going to get a bunch of cards, and I know that I have to get dots for the dice character, so he can get different numbers and stuff like that. Roll. But I don't know. Like, I'm a little mixed on that right now, but I do like them at least trying to attempt something like that, where you're in the middle of combat and then all of a sudden it turns into board game throwing card game. You just throw this big dice character and he gives you. It's different. So
yeah, well, and the dice, he is like your companion.
Yes, he is
basically. Yeah, it's a unique idea. That's kind of what initially drew me to it.
What made you drop off of it?
Okay, so honestly, I don't like the game. That's why I played probably less than you.
Really?
I probably played maybe I don't know, 2-3 hours. And so it was not bad. Because there's like a little bit of platforming too. I would say it's kind of like an action adventure. Would you say that's fair?
Action adventure, platformer. Wild.
Yeah, not including like the combat elements. Like you kind of just, character walks around, you jump on things, you fight things.
Action adventure probably is the main one I put it on.
So the world is interesting. What did it for me is I don't like the combat. I hate it. Immediately I knew it. And I'll tell you why. I don't like games that mix turn-based and action.
Okay.
I hate it. It's fair. Like, pick one, please. There's no need. That is the problem I had with Final Fantasy VII Remake. I was like, and not that I dislike that game. I just I think I would have liked it better if it just picked one. It's like, because I don't want to do both. It's like, it makes no sense to me. Because I like turn-based and I like action separately. But when you put it together, to me, it just does not make sense. And with Lost in Random, I'm like, having to do these dice rolls. And I'm like, well, but I can just hit the dude. Like, why can't I just go up and hit the dude?
Oh, sorry. We took that ability away. You must roll the dice again to get it back or something, or get something else. Yeah,
it's an interesting idea. It just does not make sense to me,
But I counter you on this. How do
Okay.
you feel about Mass Effect 1's combat system? Because it has a bit of action, shooting, and pausing of choosing abilities and stuff, which could be considered somewhat turn-based. Is that different for you? How's that different from Lost in Random? I know they're
That's a
different
fair
games.
point.
Very different games.
That is a good question. And that's probably why I like Mass Effect's combat the least of the series, and I thought it got better as it went on because it became more action focused, where they streamlined some of those like ability elements. I like that way better. But with Mass Effect, I just love the game overall as a whole so much that didn't really bother me.
Yeah.
But you are correct; it is sort of turn-based esque in that sense. Not quite, but I get what you're saying. Like you do have to pause to select your abilities. But you do have the difference there is you do have the option to like hotkey like a couple abilities. I
Yes.
don't know if that was there originally. I think they might have added that in with the remaster. I don't remember, but yeah, so that's why it's a little bit different. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say this, I like the one thing I love about the game, and I like this in a lot of games. I've noticed I'm starting to like this more in games when they do it. I like the book narrator that's talking, and like it's like in Mickey's Castle Illusion or in Lost in Random where this narrator's just talking. Sorry, like I don't. I if you tell me that like before, I don't know, but like the more games that do it, as long as you have a really good voice narrating, I'm totally fine with it. I'm totally fine with it. I know it's not. I hope it doesn't become a trend and everybody starts doing it because I don't like when that happens. But I was not hating that. If you get a good voice, like if you get Patrick Stewart or somebody narrating, which he has narrated a couple games before, he did the game that's not even available anymore, the War of the Worlds Xbox 360 arcade game. Did that, and he also did the Castlevania Shadows games. Narrated
really?
those, yeah. He also
did
plays a
not know that.
character in the first.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I do like that.
The Baldur's Gate 3 had a narrator. I liked the narrator in that one. She had like a real pleasant voice.
Who does
So
it?
yeah,
Does the voice?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think she's known. I'm sure Jessica would know, or somebody in chat would know the actress's name, who's the narrator.
If anybody's gonna know, it's gonna be Jessica. She follows that
Yeah.
game closely. So he's
Yeah.
already typing the name as we speak.
Yeah, you don't really see a lot of narrators in games, though.
No, I feel like it should be explored a little bit more, but just don't go too crazy with it. I don't need like somebody does an amazing job with it. I like Baldur's Gate. We'll use that as an example. I don't want everybody doing it. No trends.
Amelia. Jessica says Amelia. Now, is that the narrator's name? That's not the actress's name, is it?
Yes, actress's name is what I was referring to. Good to know the character name. The title the game's called Lost in Random, and I'm kind of lost in my thoughts right now, honestly, because I feel like I'm a mix with it right now. I can't say I'm one way or the other yet. I don't know.
I was kind of the same, like, because I do think the world is interesting, and I was sad because I wanted to see what the story was, but like that combat just killed it for me. So I'm curious if you continue on, like, if you're going to enjoy the story.
I think I like the characters. I want to just see where it's going. It's weird enough for me to stick around. That's probably means I am going to beat the game. I want to see what's up with this.
Amelia Tyler is the actress's name.
What has she done?
Yeah, I've never heard her name before.
I'm not good with names. I'm good with seeing faces and hearing voices. I'll hear a voice like, oh, I know that voice. That person. This is the voice from this game or that game. Same with faces, but names. I'm trying to get better. Like I was attempting that when we were talking about Valerian. I was actually trying to say the actors' names. Cara Delevingne, is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Delevingne?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. The only reason why I remember that is because I did a review for those figures way back in the day when I was still doing YouTube, and I actually looked up her name. See how to say it. I remember that.
Mike, I want you to pronounce. You know whose name?
Oh, I might have that here.
You know who it is, though.
Oh yes,
we have this thing back and forth where he cannot pronounce her name. She
Hold on.
she voiced the dragon in Damsel, the movie we watched like last week.
So I don't have it anymore, Jacques, but in last week's episode, forgot to tell you this. I brought up a window, a Google browser window that popped up when everybody was able to hear how you pronounce her name. We're all practicing it.
Okay, so what is it?
I don't remember. It was
Mike.
something Dashnu something that I don't remember.
Is it? No, Shorey Agdashlu. I think that's how you say it.
Agdashlu. That's what I was
saying. Agdashlu, Shorey Agdashlu. Yeah, Sarah can correct me.
You
if
can
I'm wrong.
write it in the chat all you want, but I'm not going to pronounce it right just by seeing her name. You're gonna have to write it out like how you would say it. Write it that way. Spell it out. I remember, and Google does it. No, actually sound it out. Write it out, but sound it out. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Not spell it. Spelling her name doesn't help me.
We need to do something like that on the show one of these weeks, where we have some kind of like thing where we find some crazy names and we have to try to figure out how to pronounce it. Like with no help. We're just like, that seems like that would be a train wreck, maybe.
I know David said this a couple times on the show. He says, like, because he's developing his game, he's like, I'd love to have her play one of the characters in it. If that ever happens, then that would be hilarious, considering we always bring her up.
Yeah.
We always bring this name up. I don't know why. She's getting towards the Flamingo territory, and we need to make sure those are distant.
And speaking of her, or speaking of like, she's in Mass Effect. We were just talking about Mass Effect.
Tally's mom.
Like, she's a character. I don't know if it's Tally's mom, but
aunt.
I know she's like, so she might be related, or somehow she's like a mentor.
Yeah, she's Quarian.
But yeah, she's in like, she's a Quarian, right? Because James Traynor said he just finished his 80 hours in Mass Effect.
Oh, Jesus.
Is that just the first one? You put 80 hours into the first one? Those are like 30-hour games.
I think he means the trilogy.
Okay, that would make more sense, yeah. All three. Okay, gotcha. There you go. I was going to say, is there 80 hours worth of content in the first one?
No, I'd say if you wanted to do every single little thing, even all the things, random stuff on the planet, you're probably looking at 40 hours. Something like that.
Okay, I just want to ask James a question. What is your favorite one of the three? Because Mike, his is 2, correct?
Yep, putting the 2 sign up. Yep.
Mine used to be 2 until I replayed the series with the Legendary Collection, and now Numero Trace is my favorite.
That's fine. I mean, the third one's definitely better than what I remember, and that has to do with many years have passed. We got the edited, the patch, the fixed ending, as they say, the better ending, and I think we needed time away from 3 to appreciate 3 more. I still have complaints about 3, and they're still valid, and I still have those issues that haven't changed. But I definitely have a better outlook on it, and pretty good.
I agree, James. 3 is my favorite because I changed my opinion. And it's probably the similar reason why Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars film. Like, fight me, people, come after me. It's not Empire. No, I'm just kidding. If you like, look, I'm not going to begrudge anybody their opinion. Like, if you like what you like, it's fine. But but it's the same reason I'm a fan. If they do like the final entry in a trilogy, if they do it well, it usually has a leg up for me because it's like the culmination of everything that you've seen so far. And I thought the third one really felt epic, and it was the most action based one by far. And you know how much I love action games.
Yeah.
So. And Sean says number 1 is his best. I'm not going to argue. Like, 1 is great, man. Like, that's probably the most RPG-like one.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like that upgrade system a lot better because it's not as streamlined. So that's fair, man. They all have their pros and cons. I think like the second one, the loyalty missions and that final suicide mission, those are legendary. Like, that's hard to top. So I can see why that might be your favorite, Mike.
Okay. Everybody, this happens to me. I just saw Urkel. This happens to me too with the whole, I'm going to go Renegade, and then I always wind up finishing Paragon. If I'm going to play the series, which I will play the series again, but I am for sure 100% this time, 100% Renegade, bad decisions all the time. As every possible option except for Liara to Sony. We don't get upset or get angry with that character, but everybody else, fair game.
I don't believe you. Because you're too good, man. You're too good, Mike.
Yeah, but
like,
I want to see. I want to see. Well, I played it good so many times. I need to see the Renegade stuff.
Okay, but see, that's how it starts. You're like, okay, I'm going Renegade, and then when it comes down to brass tacks, and you have to make like a dickish decision, you're like, oh, but I can't do that to this character. And then you make one nice decision, and then it snowballs, and then pretty soon you're Paragon, and you're like, shit, I did it again. Watch, just watch.
If I hate it, I'm gonna hate every decision I make, but I'm gonna do it because I gotta play. I played this series so many times. Must have played through the trilogy. Well, I played through Mass Effect 3 twice. But 2 and 1 must be like 5-6 times a piece. So like if I'm gonna do this again, I'm doing a very different way. I'm going to stick with it. Try my hardest. Maybe I'll even get upset at Liara. We'll see.
Yeah, right.
That might be harder to do. So
he'll just look into Liara's eyes and just melt and just do anything she wants.
Exactly.
Do you see James's comment? He says he might try Andromeda now.
Well, have you played Andromeda before? That's the important question.
I'm assuming no. That his comment kind of insinuates no. If you have not played it and you're a huge fan of the Mass Effect series, I would say yes, play it just for the experience. But just know that you probably will be disappointed.
In my opinion, I'm others in the chat who love Andromeda, that's fine. But in my opinion, you're going from a 9 trilogy all the way down to a 6. You're dropping 3. My pen. You're dropping 3 points. You might even go lower. I'm being nice with the 6 because I think you can 4 or a 5, and I could understand that. I could be like, yeah, I could see why.
I'll give it one thing: the combat might be the best out of all of them. Because they had so much time to like fine tune it. I would have to go back and play it again, but I do remember the combat being solid.
Yeah, I'll give it that. It is a little bit better.
So, like, I'll just say the weakest parts of Andromeda is the characters do not even compare to the original trilogy. The story is not that great, and the main enemy characters suck. and the ending is just. I don't even know what to say about the ending.
It's one of those endings where it just, here's the ending, we're here, let's get this over with, credits. No build up, barely a build up, and it's just, we're here. Here's the finish line. But I feel like the finish line shows up out of nowhere. And just speeds up.
Like, it feels, it does feel like that, but like I said, opinions may vary. Like,
Hey, I like Duke Nukem Forever, so.
That's true.
So, I get it.
We like plenty of shitty games, so it is what it is.
Right.
What's next?
Great question. You know what? Let's just go straight into it. I want to talk about it. I don't know how Jacques going to do this. We were talking about before the show. But we're going to talk about audio, game audio. And the fun thing about this is, I didn't say it in any of the posts, by the way. But I did a little extra work. I do have some sound clips to play for some of the audio that we're going to be discussing here and all that. So basically, this is just, we're going to be exploring and having discussions about iconic, not necessarily iconic, but iconic and regular game sound effects that left an imprint on our brains. And it's like when you hear it, memories trigger, your mind's racing, you immediately like taken back to whatever game it was. And it's just, the first sound, for me at least, some of you might recognize what it is, maybe some of you won't. When I hear it, mine goes racing into a whole bunch of different things. So we're going to talk about that now. So because
I figured out a method. What I can do is just mute my mic, and then I can just like kind of play the audio through here, and then I'll unmute when we're ready to talk about it.
That's fair. We could do that.
It's a quick fix,
this whole. Come on, please. Did you see what happened last week? Or we couldn't even get that shit fixed. So, which by the way, perfect now.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I haven't had one issue on my end. I'm looking at all the statistics. Nada. Perfect. Grained straight. no frame drops, and that's all going to change now that I talked about it. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Mingo heard that, and they're going to be like, well, let's see if we can change that. So, okay, so just let me know when you're ready to... Yeah, there he is.
Okay,
just let me know when you're ready, and then I can just mute real quick.
Yeah, so basically, we're going to have some random ones in here. You're going to all assume that we're just going to have the most iconic of the iconic. There's some of those in here, but I wanted to get some in here that you're going to be like, what is that? But it is iconic to a lot of people, but it might not be for you, whatever. I wanted to have some fun here. I'm not just going to put the stuff you think you're going to be here. So I have to start. All right, so I have it muted right now. The audio sometimes stalls, though. I think that's on my end. I think that is on your end.
It could be. Are you on Wi-Fi, Sean? Because sometimes the Wi-Fi cuts out.
I want everybody else in here to confirm or deny that's happening to them or not. Is there any kind of audio stalling, freezing? Because on my end, there's no frames dropping and everything's like green as it can be, the highest possible. So, no audio stalling for me. Okay. So there's nights, Sean, where I have that, where I could be just watching YouTube and then shit just doesn't. Yeah, Wi-Fi can do that.
Okay, yeah, he's on Wi-Fi in the boonies, so that's got to be it.
Get them hamsters running in them wheels faster to get that router going. Okay. Let's which, by the way, before we do this, actually, Jack, I want you to pick 2 people from the chat, and then I'll pick 2.
Okay.
We'll pick 2 more later to get a Steam game.
Ooh.
Which I don't know what it is. Like every week I say this, I don't know what it is. But if you get in contact with me anytime after the show, through any of our media, it could be Facebook, Instagram, wherever. But the best place is probably the Facebook private group. If you message me there, say, "Hey, it was me. I was there." Said I was the name you picked to win the game. I'll get you a Steam game. And I guarantee it will be good. I won't give you a piece of crap. It'll be a good game. With that being said, Doc, pick 2 people from the show.
Okay, first I'm going to pick Allie because she has been a loyal member of our community for a while. I don't know if she's ever gotten a game.
Yes, she has. Just last week, but that's fine. You named her. We're putting.
Oh, she gets another one then.
You weren't here.
Galore. Last week didn't count for me, so that's why
I gave everybody a game last week because of the technical difficulties. So if some of you who weren't here last week, you could have got a game. Go up.
So okay, so Allie gets one if she's still. She's probably still listening while she plays Fortnite. And then the second one I'm gonna give to Sean for being a new follower.
I know who that.
So
last name.
Okay, so Sean, you get a free game this week. Yay!
I hope our that Sean we've known for many, many years doesn't be like, you said Sean gets a game this week. No.
Well, Sean's like the other Sean's one of my best friends, so I'm going to tell him to F off. Like, you know,
I've given him a game not that long ago. So we're gonna have 2 more. I'm gonna pick 2 more near the end. I'll have Jacques pick 2 more in chat, and we'll announce the winners for the giveaway that had Horizon and all those. And I will reveal next week's. Lots of game stuff. All right. So I hope I did everything right here with the audio. So to find out. So I'm going to unmute. And I just have to click this button. Wait, let's see. What is this on? That should be right. If it's too loud, fix it for the next one. We're probably going to listen to this one once or twice. Actually, before I have it here, I had to make timestamps for this. Okay, I'll just pull it up right now. Because I could have put every single audio file and sources, but then that would have just been a nightmare having that many options there. I decided to just stick all of them into like a video format, and then I just MP3'd it, made it all audio. So I had to write down timestamps. I have to just fast forward, get to the.
Yeah, we have no producer. We have no producer, so we appreciate you guys bearing with us every week.
I'm the producer.
Yeah, basically, like we're trying to get better. So,
all right, okay. Get your audio up. This one's not a loud one. I will warn you guys if there is a loud one. I think I've adjusted the audio correctly, but I'll give you a heads up. I have the list of what's coming. All right, so the first one's very quick, 2 seconds. I think this is a very iconic one. I know what it is immediately. So, Jacques, you can go ahead and mute. Listen. Here we go. Okay, you heard that, all right? So, no, it's not Metroid. I saw that coming. No. What
Do you want me to? You want me to say what it is or no?
Before you say it, I want to get a few here.
Yeah.
See what they think that is, and then we'll talk. And then I want yours, and then we'll talk about this game, what this is from.
That's a good one. That's a good pick. That is pretty iconic. I mean, I guess it depends like what your likes are. If you've never played those games and don't know about that, you might not know.
I'll play it for them one more time. Sonic is a good guess. That is a good guess, but it's wrong. I'll give you guys a few extra seconds. We're not going to stay here all night waiting for you guys.
Do you want to give them hints?
Okay, I'll give you a hint. It is a gadget. It's a gadget, and it is a sound of great importance because when you turn this thing on, it enhances something around you. It's not Batman.
Batman.
Okay, Jacques, what do you think it is?
It's the night vision goggles from Splinter Cell.
Yep,
right?
correct.
Sam Fisher.
That is Sam Fisher. So this is Splinter Cell. I'm not sure which Splinter it's from. I just picked up the audio. It could be It could be Pandora Tomorrow, Chaos Theory. I don't know. But it is his goggle sound. And when I hear this, I immediately think of Ubisoft. I think of Tom Clancy. I think of Sam Fisher, of course. I think of all the stealth that's in that game. And it brings me to a really cool and exciting place. It was, for a lot of people, Metal Gear is their like introduction to stealth, espionage, kind of. Well, Metal Gear is realistic to an extent.
You're right. Like,
crazy
it's
shit.
a little.
Splinter Cell's grounded, like it's grounded in reality. So
right.
Metal Gear is a mix of reality and fantasy and crazy shit. So yeah, Splinter Cell was my introduction to proper stealth games, and it will always be a soft spot. And there's a lot of unique sounds in that game, but that's the one that everybody remembers the most, like goggles. Sean said, "Wow, I haven't played that since GameCube."
Dang, that's like early 2000s right there.
The game came out in 2002. I want to say the first one, and we've gotten 5 or 6 games, I think.
They're working. Well, supposedly they're working on a remake of the first one. I think, right?
Yes,
Ubisoft. But
that is
we
correct.
have not heard about it in a while. I think it's still in production, but I don't know. It's like they got to give you something. I feel so bad for you, Mike. Between Stargate and Splinter Cell,
yeah, I keep getting ripped off here. I know
you're just not eating, man. When it comes to your favorite properties, I personally have only played one Splinter Cell, and it was actually like within the last year or so. I bought the was it Chaos Theory? I bought that on Xbox.
Old.
And I was enjoying it until I got to like the 3rd mission or something.
The mines.
No, it was after that. It was like what was it? It was you're outside of a building. It was either like a museum or something, and you had to infiltrate it.
Yes.
Or it was like something, I don't know, a bank, I don't know what it was, but for some reason I could not figure out what to do, like where to go. And it was probably something super simple, but it was one of those things where I just got so fed up. I was like, I just flipped the table over basically and just was like, no, I quit. Screw this game.
I beat the first one not that long ago. Again, Pandora Tomorrow is the sequel before Chaos Theory. I do plan on playing that soon. I'll see.
James says he has them in his library, but he's like, will they work? I mean, they should run, but as far as like, do they hold up? I mean, mileage may vary. I thought Chaos Theory sort of held up. I just kind of got hung up on something, so that was my own personal flaw. But you may not be as dumb as me. I don't know.
If you're referring to Steam Deck or James, if you're referring to Steam Deck, some of the Splinter Cell games don't run very well in the Steam Deck for whatever reason. But I know you have a ROG Alley. Play it on there if you want to play it portable. That they should run all on there on the Windows, no problem. The ones I know Splinter Cell Blacklist. That's like the most recent one. That was 2013. Okay. That one does run on the Steam Deck. As for the others, well, if you got a gaming PC, you got if you have an Xbox, James, an Xbox Series S or an X, and if you have digital copies of them on there, play it there because they got 4K enhancements and frames upgrades and all that stuff. Microsoft was going crazy with all that back in the day. All the Splinter Cells got it. So that's what I recommend.
I just want to hit 2 comments real quick.
Sure.
Urkel says GoldenEye is his espionage game. GoldenEye was my shit back on the N64. Like, me and my best friend used to play the multiplayer mode all the time, where we would just do mines only, and we would just like set up mines all over the place. It was like you could do like rockets only. It looks terrible, and now it looks terrible, and the controls are awful. But back then, that's like all we had. So, and then Sean says he remembers old YouTube videos of the 2-player mode in Splinter Cell, with like guys just messing around. Which one was that? Was that Conviction?
I think it depends. Like, I think Pandora Tomorrow introduced a little bit of multiplayer. I think Chaos Theory, I don't know. Like it depends which one you're referring to. But some had like a cooperative mode with 2 people, which I think that might have been either Chaos Theory or Conviction. Probably. Or watch.
I do remember. Do you remember this on G4 back when, like,
Yes.
the original G4, not that like one that came back that was a mess? Where they used to do the segment. It was like Special Agent Steve. It was like the Splinter Cell guys, the co-op thing.
I think it was
I don't
Chaos
know
Theory.
if that's. Yeah, I don't know
was.
if that's what Sean is referring to, but that stuff was hilarious.
All right. So let's move on to the next one. I had to look at the timestamps. Let me just make sure. Now, this one, I love this one. And every time I heard this, it made me want to try to do it in real life. That's not going to make any sense until I won't tell me what it is. All right. So here we go. Next sound. Give it a second. Go back to that. Hold on a second. Pause it. What do you guys think that is? Urkel says Mario. Mario paint. Now be specific here, Urkel. When you say Mario painting, what do you mean? I know. It sounds like you already answered it, but like, be a little bit more specific. Whoa. It is Mario related. I'll give you that. I shouldn't have said that early.
And yeah, that one didn't ring a bell to me. I think I have an idea what you're talking
All right.
about, but
From now on, I'm not going to reveal it really early because I'll let others answer before. But he got it right. I won't do that again next time. It is the Mario 64 painting when you jump into the paintings next world. That's what that sounds like.
That's what I was thinking. But it's been so long since I played that game. Man,
Maybe when I was a kid, when I was like 7, 8 years old, it made me want to jump through.
Well, I mean, you can do that now, Mike.
I mean, you can, but you're going to hit the wall or just go right through it and fall out the other side.
I didn't say you wouldn't get hurt. I just said you could do it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Mario games. It used to be my favorite 3D Mario game. But I think Odyssey kind of took that spot for me. And I don't know. There's some Mario 64 is one of the rare N64 games that still can be played to this day. And when I mean, you can play any N64 game, but what I'm talking about is controls. I mean, coming from that generation of PS1 and N64, most of the games don't feel right on the controllers anymore. It feels tanky. It feels terrible. Very awkward. Like, I know we have like fond memories of GoldenEye on the 64, but go back and play it on the N64. Let me know how that feels. I don't mean an emulator. I don't mean the re-release that they did on Xbox. I want you to go find an N64 and play that on that machine. Tell me how that feels now.
I think that was because it was like a transition period at that time where it was kind of going to 3D. Like, that was kind of new. So they were still kind of figuring out the controls.
Yeah. So, but yeah, fun game. It's Mario. I mean, we're not going to sit here on Mario. It's. I still think it holds up very well, like with Spyro and old Spyro PS1 and even the old Crash Bandicoot games. They play well to this. All right, so the next one, let me see if I'm on the thing. There may be a second or two before it plays. I just wanted to make sure it's not exact. My timestamps might be a second or two off. So I'm gonna play the next one now. This time I won't say what it is right away. I'll let everybody answer. Get their answers in. All right. Here we go. So I had to put that last two in there because I didn't want to get everybody so confused. What is everybody's answers here?
Yeah, I got it.
The last two kind of give it away, I think.
Yeah, I was confused at first because it was just a cornucopia of sounds, and then at the end I heard a specific sound. And I was like, okay, yeah, I know what it is.
Okay, I think there's a consensus here. I don't think anybody else.
Which one though? Which one?
I mean, there's a couple of them. That's true.
Yeah, they got Donkey Kong, but which one?
It's Donkey Kong Country. I think this one in particular was more aimed at the original, but the second game also uses some of the same sound effects. So we'll just say the first two Donkey Kong Country games. Third one has some sounds. Yeah, that was Donkey Kong Country. And every time I hear those letters, I instantly go in a happy place because the Donkey Kong Country. I don't want to say the trilogy. I'll just say the first two because the third one I've only beaten once. Nowhere near as good as the 1 and 2. But those are my, like with Jacques with Resident Evil, those are I can play 100 times games. I could play it anytime, anywhere. I can do a full playthrough of it. I can play that game backwards at this point. I've beaten the second game probably like 20 times at least. So just feel good games, comfort games that you can always go back to. And when I hear those sounds, it makes me think the times to be playing it on an actual Super Nintendo back in the day, and even on Switch emulation, wherever you're playing it, like it is still a fun time to play those games. They've held up incredibly well. Jock, I don't know, was the last time you played a Donkey Kong Country?
Oh God, honestly, probably it's been since I was a kid. Yeah, probably since the original times. I have not gone back to them. It's funny that you bring up the sound of these games. Because the graphics are actually what I remember the most.
Fantastic.
Because they were like super impressive for the time. Like, because it was like the Super Nintendo. Yeah. So, like.
That was pushing it. That was like Naughty Dog standards for.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what methods they used, but when I first saw this, I was like, what? This is like next generation graphics.
One of the most beautiful games on the Super Nintendo. And there's a lot of beautiful games on there, but this one had like very realistic animation. I think even the Mortal Kombat's. Well, there's games like where they did like recordings of how they were able to capture it inside the games, which we take for granted now. But like doing that back in 1993, 92, or 90 on the Super Nintendo, that's not easy. There was only like maybe a handful of developers that were able to probably pull off that kind of technology. So yeah, you're all right. I think. While the audio in that game is very iconic, it's the graphics that's on another level.
James says he's playing it right now. What is the RG350?
That is a PC handheld, I believe.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta scroll to the next one. You could read the comments while I get there.
George just says, for me, it's Batman Arkham Trilogy. He never gets tired of those games. Like, as far as games you can just play over and over and over.
No, that's another one. I do that with Arkham Asylum. I've beaten that game 6-7 times. I love that one. Oh my god.
Yeah, a lot of people guessed Donkey Kong though. I think it was that final part of the sound that gave it away.
Yeah, I was watching
like a monkey, like a.
I was watching your facial expressions. The first few sounds, you're just like. Like, what the heck is this?
I just felt like I was being attacked by like so many different sounds. I was like, I knew it was something like old, like Mario-esque. Like I thought it was probably Nintendo because you can tell by the sounds. It's a little bit like that same kind of sound, but yeah.
These are just sounds that like at the moment, like, I knew every. It's amazing because I played this so many times. I knew every single sound. I knew what the first one. What the first one's like the letters. You're collecting the letters. It's going up to hit to add to your life. Big junkie on.
Okay, so the RG351M is an emulator device.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Gotcha. Okay, so the next one. Oh, I love this one. I love this one. I think most of you might be able to figure this one out. But let's find out. Here we go. Hold on a second. I'll let you hear that again. I don't know where that started, so let me just put it up here. What is that, guys? What's that from?
I know that. That's pretty iconic. You guys should know this.
I want to let them all answer it first. Not Mark.
Oh, yeah, of course. I won't ruin it. But come on, you guys are going to disappoint me if you don't know this.
Yeah, this has turned into more of a game of can you guys figure what the sound is, which was not the original intention, but you know what? This is working out way better than what I was thinking. So
I'm not going to say anything yet.
Okay, so Jason says Mario. George says Sonic. Urkel says don't know that sound. Jessica says Sonic. Okay. I'll wait for another comment or two before I hear Jacques. Come on, guys. This is the most active I'm getting you guys involved. I mean, I'm really getting you guys involved in this one. So all of us, which is good because I put a lot of work into this. I want to get something from you. All right, going once, going twice. All right, Jacques, what is that? Wait. What is that? Unless it's the ring from Sonic. Okay. What did you think, Jacques?
They're right. It's Sonic.
What is it, though, in Sonic the Hedgehog?
I'm pretty sure it is when you get the rings, right? Or no, wait.
Nope.
Wait. It's when you get hit.
Nope.
It's not.
Nope.
What the heck?
So, at the end, you know when it's doing dun 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 dun, and it does like the score, and then it's doing the noises for the whatever you collect and stuff. At the end of after it's calculated all of that, it makes that sound. Cha-ching.
Oh, okay.
That. Listen to it. There we go. Well, just so you guys picture that in your head when you just beat Robotnik and you hit the little sign thing that spins around. It calculates all your score and it does this. There you go. So yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic could never reach Mario's height, but it did really try to bring it hard to Mario back in the day on the Gen. Going up against the Super Nintendo, that was their Mario. Sonic was their mascot. They're still it's Sega's. That's still Sega's mascot after all these.
Yeah, of course.
It's no matter how many. The track record for Sonic games is all over the place. You got amazing ones. You got shitter. Mario's never really had that. It's always been. That's one thing you got to give it to Mario. Always been consistent. All their games. Every single Mario game, not including like some weird ones that are on like the CDI that were kind of licensed by Nintendo. I'm not talking about those, but like the mainline Mario games, every single one. I'm not a fan of Super Mario Brothers 2, but it's still a good game. There's no bad Mario game. There are bad Sonic games, but Sonic has the technology. We were just talking about like technology and motion and movement and capturing of things and stuff. The tech in the Sonic games was incredible back on the Sega and Genesis. It's really fast. For fast video games, it was kind of hard to do games at that speed without it like just tearing itself apart as it's going. So I always had a really good time with those. And I know some people give Sonic games shit, and I've listened to other shows that give the Sonic games stuff. It's funny. But I don't know. It's just it has a special place. I love the boss fights, and they're not hard, except for Sonic Mania. I think that actually has some hard ones. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you are with Sonic, Jacques. How you associate with how you think about it over the probably aren't a fan. I don't think, but
so I definitely loved them as a kid.
Yeah.
Because obviously we all had our Nintendos first, our Super Nintendo, and that was like the Sega Genesis was kind of a competitor to the Super Nintendo. As Jason said in the comments, Sega does what Nintendo don't. That was their tagline, which is clever. It's clever. I will say, like, the Sega Genesis had more power, so it allowed their games to look unique.
Yes.
It like their characters were bigger and brighter, like kind of in your face more. I felt like, and Sonic like was a cool game at first because you'd never seen a character go that fast, like in a game when he hits the rings, and it's just like, and it was cool in that respect. But I think like as time has gone on, I've kind of soured a little bit on it. Like, it's not that I hate Sonic, I just don't really care for it. Like, I'm definitely always going to be more of a Mario guy.
Oh, I'm more of a Mario guy as well. I agree with that.
And like, you know, Sonic going up against Mario, that's like David versus Goliath. Like, there was no way that was ever going to be more popular. But I do respect Sonic. I enjoyed the cartoon, if you remember that cartoon.
Yep.
Had what's his name, Jaleel White, who played Urkel on Family Matters. He did the voice of Sonic, I believe.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's so. Yeah, I mean, but it's still like an iconic franchise. Like you like hitting the rings and all that. Like everybody knows those sounds. So I still give Sonic his credit, though.
Yeah, still doing well. I mean, just don't mess with the Sonic Twitter account. I'm not calling it. I've seen some tweets in the past, and I've heard stories that if you try to be funny or cutie or try to give it a sly comment, that the person who runs the account is known for coming after you, and not in a bad way, but in a good way. Like the Sonic account is messing with you. Like, kind of, they have a thing going on over there, and I'm like, oh, you do not want the Sonic account.
That's so funny.
But anyway, yes, Sonic. The next one. Jock's gonna know this immediately, instantly. Some of you, I know, are gonna know it. I think it's 10 seconds or 15. I don't know, but we're gonna play it now. If it's loud, I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'll try to adjust it as quickly, but here we go. I don't think we need to hear that again. Pretty long, but if you guys need a second listen, that's fine.
Yeah, it's very mechanical, robotic sounding.
Yes.
I know what it is.
Okay, so we have some comments coming in now, or some answers. Mass Effect, Dead Space, Transformers. Interesting picks. Transformers is a good pick, Jason. A good one. George said Mass Effect: The Reapers. Fishy Fox said, "Hey, you all. Sorry, didn't realize it was Saturday. How's everyone doing? Sounds Transformish."
Oh, you're good, Philip. No worries, man. We're just glad you're here.
Okay, Jacques, what is it?
George got it. It's the Reapers from Mass Effect.
The Reapers.
Yeah. Yep. I wasn't quite sure at first, but with that final the ending, once again, I know that right away. It's a very cool sound. I love that sound. It's very like ominous.
It's not quite the same sound, but it reminds me of the sound. It's appropriate too, because they're both doing this exact same thing in a way. The sound from the 2005 War of the Worlds machine, Tom Cruise one. They make that kind of like siren-y loud sound that just freaks everybody out when it goes. The Reapers have the similar type of sound, and they're both doing the same thing. They're invading worlds.
You know what? I never put that together, but you're absolutely right. There is a parallel there for sure, especially like Mass Effect 3, like that opening of Mass Effect. I'm not going to give anything away if you've not played Mass Effect 3, but it's very similar to like a War of the Worlds kind of thing. Did you want to play it again so people can hear it now with that knowledge?
Yes, let's do that. So I think I almost think it's obvious. I think Drew co-writers were definitely, when they came up with the Reapers, they had, at least when it came to the sound, well, what they're doing too, but especially the sound, I think they were, as all creators do, they look at other things to see get inspiration and kind of come up with their own ideas and stuff. I'm pretty sure they were listening to that or the World tripod machine. It reminds me of it, which I don't have here. Which would have actually been a good idea to actually have them both here side by side, but I'm not going to do that on the fly. So let's go back. Let's see. What was the timestamp on that? That was okay, 57. Go back. All right. Now knowing that, let's hear it again. Just listening to it again, I definitely hear those tripods from War of the World. They're the mechanical.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Reapers. I think I like their sound more than the design. Not to say the design's bad. The design's cool, but like the sound's what really catches me with them. Without going into any major spoilers, the Reapers, I mean, it kind of says this in the descriptions of the game. So Reapers are a threat to the universe and the Mass Effect universe. They're a threat, and they're invading all these planets. And highly advanced technology. What are we gonna do? Oh shit! Kind of situation. It's an invasion. How do you feel about the Reaper, Jacques?
I like their design a lot. I'm not saying you dislike their design. You're saying you just like these sounds better.
Yes.
I think the whole package is awesome because they clearly took the inspiration for the design off of like aquatic, like, oh, what's the name of those? They're not like shrimp, but they're like it's almost like it's not like an octopus or like a squid, but it's something even smaller, like almost microscopic life forms. There's a specific name and I cannot remember, but if you look this up, they look exactly like that. And it makes sense
Leviathan.
because like
everything.
Well, Leviathan. No. Oh. No, this is more of like a technical scientific term for something.
Okay.
It's like right on the tip of my tongue, but like if I remember it later, I'll tell you. But it makes sense that they took design inspiration from that because these things are supposed to be really, really old. And, we started as like things in the microscopic, like single-celled organisms in the water. So it would make sense that it's like if it's ancient, they would take inspiration from that. Now, as far as like what we heard, the sound, like I said, it sounds ominous. Like you are supposed to be afraid, like deathly afraid of these things. Like when you hear that sound, like that's the end. Like, so I think like they did a very good job on the sound effects for that. I'm not sure what they used. They probably used like all kinds of weird stuff. But
when you're creating something that is supposed to be terrifying, it really have to nail down if sounds plays a major part of the thing that you're creating. You need to make it sound. It's got to be scary. Like if you're walking outside, some big, massive thing, unidentified thing flew over your head, and that sound, that would terrify you. Nobody's gonna sit there, wonder what that is. No, that's gonna terrify you if you hear that thing vibrating in the sound, the air, and the sky is just sounds traveling over the place. So I think they definitely nailed it. That a lot of great sounds in Mass Effect. My favorite, it's more of music. But the galaxy map.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I could listen to that all day. Yeah, for sure.
Sounds. The reason why we're doing this is just like I said before, not so much just to bring up memories, but it just to also show time, effort, the passion that goes behind making these sounds, because you have to be extremely creative. You have to have a creative come up with kind of sound effects. It's just you gotta to hit those emotions with people. This one is clearly going for, oh shit, what is that? Nails it. And not everybody can do that successfully. A lot of people try, but not everybody can successfully bring that feeling out of you. I do think I will always at night. If I ever hear it, it's not going to be good for me. Anyways, let's go to the next one.
So I just hold on. I just want to say, because I was trying to look up that's bothering me, like the inspiration. I did not find the exact one I'm looking for, but I know it's like I looked up brine shrimp,
Okay.
and it's not exactly the same, but you can kind of see like where they're taking inspiration from like very, very like ancient sea life.
Okay.
But yeah, I gotta find, because my friend Doug, Creep from Outer Space, who's been on the show before, he actually has like an aquarium where he raises brine shrimp, and like they actually like they grow, like it's crazy.
Let me talk to him, ask him about the Reapers, and look at his thing.
Yeah, no, I showed him before, and he was like, "Oh, that's crazy," but like I said, it's not quite brine shrimp. I will find out, because this is bothering me. It's one of those things I can't. The name is like on the tip of my tongue.
I'm gonna get a message at 3 a.m. in the morning. I finally found it. The 3 hours of research. This is it.
Yeah, Oh, you definitely will expect that.
That's. I'm not joking. That's the funny thing.
And then next week we will come report back with the correct species.
If you got an image of it, send it to me and I'll put it in the show. We'll blow it up on the screen.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I will do that.
Okay, so next we have Jim said the sound of Battlefront fan scream pain. Yeah, we've mentioned that already. Get the action though. Okay, this one Jock's not gonna know. Some of you might know. Couple different sounds, like Donkey Kong. Couple different sounds mixed together from the same thing. Series you could. All right, here we go. Can't wait to see the responses for this one. What is it, guys? What do you think that is? I think one person here might know. Jason said Final Fantasy.
It sounds old. It sounds like classic for sure.
Interesting pick, Jason. Would it be right? I don't know. Urkel said, that sounds like Metroid. Okay. Jet Force Gemini? No. Maybe. Well, maybe. Anybody else? Jim? Jessica? James? Your answers are important. Echo the Dolphin. That's a good one. How does that sound like a dolphin? Well, maybe one of them kind of sounded like a dolphin. James said the Reapers are based on cuttlefish, shapefish, for the previous answer.
Oh, really? Is that a fact?
This guy could go either way. He's got a smiley, laughing face. It could be real. It could be.
Because I know Jessica said troglodyte, which I just looked up. Sorry to hijack the sound you just played.
Let's get this Reapers thing. Let's look it up.
The troglodyte is not it, but that is a good guess. That is close. Now I have to look up the cuttlefish shapebish.
Okay.
Oh, shape-ish. I thought that was like an official like name of the gene, like the shape-bish.
I'm going to let you look that up, and I'm going to play the sound again to give you time. So we'll let these guys hear it again. Okay. All right. Well, how's the cuttlefish research going?
Okay, yeah. No, I can see that. Definitely. That's not what I was referring to, but yeah, that actually could work too. I think that actually is like the main, because the thing is there's like different types of Reapers, but like the main big ones, that does look very, very close. I think that he's right that is based off the cuttlefish.
Okay.
That's not what I was talking about, though. I still will be looking at what I'm talking about, but continue on with.
All right, so I'm seeing some other answers. Phantasy Star 2. Fox said, I'm not knowledged on this stuff. What's the hints? Okay, so it's from a series of games that have been they've been around longer than this, but they've been very popular. Early 2000s, and there's many different ones. A ton of different kinds of them. A lot of them out there. Different variations of it. Uses a lot of different IPs. That's going to be the biggest hint. A lot of different IPs are associated with these types of games. That... No? No. Not Legend of Zelda. No. All right, Jacques, what is your guess? I want to hear your guess.
I have no idea, man. I was like puzzled myself.
Okay. RuneScape. All right, you guys are way off. Nobody's answered it correctly. So all of these sounds are from various things you do and collect in the Lego games that come out. So one of them was like the MIDI kit, like the thing, like the MIDI kits. It's a lot of the collectibles, studs you pick up around the map, stuff like that. They use all the same sound effects in most of the Lego. Yeah. So I had never played a Lego game. Well, there you go.
Yeah, that would make sense why I didn't know that, because like I think I've played maybe 1-2 Lego games. I don't really like them that much.
Yeah, they are. If you're really into collectathon games, or just I want to collect a bunch of shit and listen to the podcast, or you can listen to the game as well. I think there are some of the most enjoyable ones in that category. I think, and plus you get a whole bunch of different IPs. Park, they've done Star Wars, the Marvel, the list goes on. Tons of different DC, the different variations of DC games and Marvel and Rings. They've done Harry Potter. There's so many, and they have more in development. And they've been pumping these out since, like this variation of it. Like they've made Lego games in the '90s and stuff, but this type of engine, similar type of game, they've been doing these since Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, I think. So, yeah, they've been doing it for over 20 years, and people are still buying these like hotcakes because kids love Legos. You get a Lego game, but here's the thing I appreciate about the Lego games is that all the sounds are cool. Those little sounds, I like those sounds. But the things I really appreciate about the games is they don't just make a game for a kid, like the most bare basic form of a video game. You know, some of these games like Peppa the Pig or some like really terrible game with barely any mechanics. No, these guys actually put in a lot of cool mechanics, fun to play, and it makes it enjoyable for the adult that's even playing with their kids. So they've been successful at doing that for so many years. I haven't played one in a while, but the next time I'm in the mood to play something where I want to collect stuff and maybe catch up on an audiobook or podcast or something, I'm going to play one of these.
That's probably why I don't. Well, besides the fact that they're a little bit too childish for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of collectathons. Like I'm just more into like the action stuff now a lot and the horror. I just get tired of the collectathons. But I was thinking of Lego, the brand, recently, because I was just thinking of like how incredible they've managed to keep that brand going over all these decades. Because I loved Legos when I was a kid. Like this was back when I was a kid. I just had a pail of Legos. There was no like, you had maybe a manual where it's like, oh, here's how to build a basic ass ship or a plane. That's it. And you would just like, it'd be left up to your creativity. Now, like they have like Legos have become like so much for both kids and adults, where they have like these elaborate like dioramas and stuff you can build. Yeah. Like adults love collecting Legos, and Fortnite, I did like recently where they added the Lego mode thing. Like that, I think that's huge.
Yeah.
So like they've just managed to somehow like evolve over the decades and remain relevant, which I'm just super impressed by.
And they get these mature content stuff too. They did a Friends thing once. They get Friends and all kinds of crazy shit. How do they do it?
Yeah, because they realize like the kids like me who grew up with Legos, who continued on with Legos, like now they have stuff that they can collect as an adult.
Yeah.
But I do credit Lego for kind of sparking my creativity as a kid. Because like I would just, like I said, they didn't give you really any instructions, so I would just build like whatever came to mind. I built like full like Nintendo consoles with like actual like cartridges that you could slide into an opening. I built like controllers, I just like anything that would come to mind, and like it really, really just sparked my creativity.
I don't care
So,
what
like,
age you are. If you have some sort of an enjoyment with toys, you give somebody a bucket of Legos, like a big tub of Legos to build something. All ages are going to enjoy it. Just, yeah. I know
throw some Legos down now in front of me. I'll start building right on stream.
not a bad idea.
Maybe that's an idea. Maybe we should do that.
As long as we get everything out of the bags first, because that would be just incredibly noisy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
If we could do that, yeah, sure. Let's see. Fox said pricing is astronomical on Legos, though. Yes, they are the Apple. They're the Apple product in the toy industry. 100%.
Yeah, that is the downfall of them. Well, not the downfall, but for me personally, like they're too expensive. I'd much rather spend my money on a Steam sale.
Yeah, there you go. Build a Lego Flamingo.
Do they have any?
You would have to. So you would have to go on eBay. There's people who like sell lots of certain colors, of different pieces, of various different pieces. I'm sure they have one that's all pink and white.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you for giving me the idea.
Who was that? We're just gonna see a big
Jason. Good call, Jason. I'm gonna keep that in the back of my mind.
God. All right. Yeah, when it comes to the audio and the Lego, besides like the stuff I was just we were talking about, like the collectibles, we're not gonna go into like sound effects, the other sound effects, because they're using sound bites from. So it's like we'd just be talking about Jurassic Park sound effects. But the sounds that we played, though, at least for me, I know some of those. Once again, it just triggers in my head. I'm like, oh, it's Lego. But I'm glad I got one that stumped everybody. That's fantastic. All right, so let me see what the next one is. Oh, this one. Okay, some of you are gonna know this. Some of you won't. I think it'll be 50-50. Very short, couple seconds, I think. Here we go. Very simple sound. I'll play this one again just because, I'll play it again right now because it is a short one. Okay. Jessica said, no clue. Fox said, that's a sword unsheathing.
It definitely, I don't know what it is, but it definitely sounds like blades, like coming in and out. My initial thought was like Wolverine or something, like his claws popping in and out, but it might not be that.
What other ones we got?
Definitely a blade coming out. Jessica says Ninja Gaiden.
Interesting. Let's hear it one more time. I feel like this is one you got to hear a couple times. One more time. Okay. What is James said it's a trap. Fox said maybe Assassin's Creed, Hidden Blade, and all right, let's anybody else. I'll give Jason. I see a few others haven't commented yet. I'll give you a few seconds. Jock, you got to pick one. What would that be?
Yeah, those are all good guesses. I'm just gonna go with Wolverine because that was my first instinct. I don't know what game though.
Wolverine. Okay. I'll give you guys a few more seconds. Okay. Jason says Zelda sword. Okay. Urkel says you are right. Sounds like a trap. Okay. So. Bye. Okay. I'll just do this. I'm sorry. I'll explain to you audio listeners in a second. Here's my hand right here. Blade would come out of the hand right here. Go back down. I'm showing my hand right now, audio listeners. I'm pretending that there is a blade coming out right around my wrist. One person answered that correctly.
Right.
Fox said Assassin's Creed Hidden Blades. That is correct. That is the hidden blade coming out of an assassin.
Yeah, good guess, Philip.
So, Wolverine Claw was good though. When I heard Wolverine Claw. Now, when you say Ninja Gaiden, Jessica, like what were you thinking of Ninja Gaiden when he's like swinging the sword, or I mean, uh, which one were you thinking of? Love the Assassin's Creed. Um, this could be for any. Don't ask me which assassin's doing. No, this is just the
It,
default sound. They all
the
have
sound
it.
quality, the sound quality sounded too good to be like the first Ninja Gaiden on
Yes,
NES,
exactly. Glad you
but
point that
could
out.
have been, it could have been one of the Team Ninja ones. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Jessica said, I don't know. I never played Ninja Gaiden. I just said that. I just said what came to my mind. It's actually a decent guess because there is, it got some blades, and so. But yeah, very for me when I hear that. Of course, I pick ones I knew because maybe next time, maybe in the future, Jacques, if we reverse this, you're hosting when you had your stuff set up and you want to revisit this and you want to grab some audio clips and surprise even me, you're more than welcome. You'll probably stump me on it.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, but I think of Altair. I hear the sound. I think of Ezio. I think of Connor, Kenway, Arno. I don't know why I remember Arno. He's from the one that people didn't like, Unity, Assassin's Creed Unity. Yeah, the list goes on. There's a lot of assassins. So they have the sword coming out of the sheath and all that. That was a good guess. I mean, that's essentially what it's coming in and out of its plot things. Yeah, Assassin's Creed. Like the last one that came out, Mirage, had a good time with it. I think it was a step in the right direction. Was a huge fan when it first came out. Was for many years. I just kind of lost a little. It lost a little of its spark with me. Still continue to play all the games. I am very curious what the next game is going to be, and hopefully they take the data that they gathered from Mirage, because that was a pure let's see where the community is at game. Put this one out in a smaller version, or like the old. Yeah, I don't know, but it is a series that has just there is one other iconic sound. I was going to put it in there, but I think everybody would have recognized it, where you do leap of faith and it makes the eagle sound. I wasn't going to do.
I do know that.
That's the most iconic sound, actually, Assassin's Creed, but I didn't want to make it that easy. So,
yeah, that makes sense why I didn't fully really recognize it, because I've only played Odyssey all the way through. I played a little bit of the first Assassin's Creed, but didn't really catch on with it that much. I did like Odyssey a lot. I beat it, surprisingly, but it was just way too long. Yeah. Which is why I think they cut back with Mirage and tried to go back to a smaller scale type
cheaper
of thing.
Too. I mean, it's a win-win in my opinion.
Yeah. For like the future of the series, though, would you like to see sort of a balance between Mirage and like the bigger ones, like something in the middle, like not too short, not too long?
I mean, I'll speak on behalf of the entire fan base. It's probably best to have both, just so you don't alienate one side, the other, so all the fans get what they want. But if it was just, hey, what do you want? Nobody else, frick everybody else, I'd be like, I want the smaller version. I prefer the smaller version. So that's just me. But yeah, they probably should keep both. They want to go back and forth between alternate. That's fine. Let's see. I think the last one I have played was Black Flag. Jones said. Jessica said, you haven't done a single JRPG yet. I'm out of my element. Not sure if I have any or not.
That's probably because neither one of us plays JRPGs.
Yeah.
Although, there probably are some sounds that I have heard before, so.
Oh, let me go look. I'm not going to say. I mean,
there's definitely like some Final Fantasy sounds I probably would recognize.
I have, it's not JRPG, but there's something in that genre I have in here on this list. But it's not JRPG. I'm sorry, I didn't get a JRPG. Say that right. I apologize. We'll
make sure to get some JRPG love in there next time.
Yeah, because I have a feeling we'll do this again. All right, so yeah, that's it for that. Let me go look at the timestamp. I didn't look. Okay, well, this one everybody knows. That's coming up. Everybody knows this. But I had to put some of them in here. So we're just going to play it now. Here we go. Okay. We are definitely not asking everybody what that is, okay? If somebody needs to know what that is, why are you watching this?
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
It's Mario. We were just
that might be like some of the most iconic sounds in gaming ever.
Yes, it's Mario. Everybody knows Mario. Everybody knows Mario. There's people who would recognize those sounds who don't play video games. They would know what it is. That's how, like, when you have very few IPs, I believe, one of them being Star Wars. Everybody knows what Star Wars is. Everybody knows what Mario is. Everybody knows what Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. I mean, it's a decent sized list, but like when you think of everything that's been created, Back to the Future is one too. Everybody knows what Back to the Future. I'd say most people do. Would you agree with me on that, Jock? That most people on this planet have heard of Back to the Future?
Probably, but I would say like maybe some of the younger generations don't know, just because thank God they have not done a remake of those. Like, please don't do that. Do not do that. But yeah, probably most people know Back to the Future.
Yeah, but Mario is in that class, and it's just it's amazing because Mario is the NES in particular, but it was Mario that when the video game crash happened, Nintendo was, you could say, well, me and Jacques have our things to say about Nintendo these days. That's for sure. There's a lot of things they do we don't like, but you can't deny how they were the ones who brought everything from the ashes when the game industry was done. It seemed like brought out a console, Mario, Duck Hunt, Mario being the main one that everybody remembers. Rob the Robot, of course, was there too, but nobody gave a shit about it. But yeah, so Mario, it's just amazing how they started. I mean, there was Jumpman. He was in Mario existed in Donkey Kong before the first Mario game came out. But to be when that came out and where we're at now in 2024, it's amazing how Mario has stayed consistent. Well, I was just saying earlier, every Mario game that comes out is just good. All the sounds, how it was able to just get into pop culture, and just the vast majority of the planet that knows Mario. It's kind of crazy to think of. Those sounds, I would love there to be a worldwide test. Millions upon millions of people all over the world play these sounds and have the people ask them, what is this? I mean,
I think that's kind of the genius of Nintendo's designers, because it's like immediately recognizable. I would say when I think of gaming just in general, I probably think of Mario first.
Yeah.
Because the original Super Mario Brothers on NES was probably the first console game that I ever played as a child. Because like when I got my NES, that was my very first console. I had played a little bit of Atari. I did play some like arcade machines, like in the arcade, but as far as consoles, it was Mario.
Yeah.
And I still have like a deep place in my heart for Mario, even though I don't agree with Nintendo's business practices. I will always respect and love the games, because I think the games are like fantastic, like no problems there.
Yeah.
Like they have longevity for a reason. Like they're fantastic. You know, they have wide appeal, like adults, kids, everything. That we all love them. So yeah.
I agree.
That's a good one.
Games are so. Fox said the games are iconic. Yeah. Urkel said, "I'm trying to convince my kid to watch Back to the Future with me." Oh, yeah. Try your hardest, please. All right. So it's Mario. Let's move on. There's so much things that could be said about it, but we'll be here all night if we talk about Mario only. All right. Next one, everybody. I want to say everybody knows this, but it's possible. All right. It's the timestamp. We'll speed through a couple of these coming up. Well, some of these, like, they're pretty, like, one and done. kind of conversations. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, you're killing me if you don't know what this is.
Oh, yeah, talk about classic. Yeah, I mean,
like this is another sound that I know. No, okay, I know you're just pulling my leg, Jason. I know. No, not asteroids. Okay. No, I know that.
I mean,
sound.
if you do a Mount Rushmore, this character would be up there with Mario.
Mario. This character. Don't know the other two right now. My head's spinning, but they
Throw
would
a Tetris block up there. Why not?
Tetris block, and whatever you want your fourth one to be. It's
Solid Snake. I don't know.
no, I'm putting Solid Snake up. Tetris.
I know. I'm just joking.
No. But yes, it's Pac-Man. So Pac-Man is very iconic. All have fond memories, whether it was in the arcade, whether it was console version, even if it's some of the most recent ones, or not so recent, but the Xbox 360, where they had the Pac-Man DX and all of those crazy variations of Pac-Man. And it's another one of those game series. If you don't include the 3D Pac-Man games, because some of those are bad, but if you're just talking about traditional, everyday, regular Pac-Man, a little bit of spice like the DX games, that I do think Pac-Man also has a very strong track record of being very good. Pac-Man is Pac-Man. Up and up and up. It's Namco, I believe, who publishes Pac-Man game. They own it. They've, like Nintendo with Mario, for the most part, like I said, except for the 3D games, they've held it at a high quality, and they had to have standards for it, and they're not going to just put out as traditional. I've never played a traditional Pac-Man game that sucked. I haven't. Maybe there is one out there, but I haven't played. So, the other iconic sound I forgot to put in would have been very obvious too, but when you die, he does that little folds out and that sound.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish. I'm not going to do it now because it would take too much time, and I don't know if it'll even come through on this mic. But there's a trick you can do on guitar. You can mimic the Pac-Man sound.
Yes, I've heard this.
If you palm mute the strings and just like go up and down really quick on the strings with the pick, it sounds like Pac-Man. So any guitar players out there that do that, just palm mute the strings. I'm not sure if you have to be on a certain like fret or something, but like just kind of toy with it and see what works. But yeah, it sounds just like Pac-Man.
James said, I watched the Pixels movie the other day. Yeah, that Pac-Man scene is very funny in that. I'm not going to spoil it for those who haven't seen the movie. Very funny Pac-Man. I wasn't crazy about the movie. That Pac-Man scene's I'll just say this: the creator of Pac-Man is in the scene. Very funny.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, hilarious
That's
scene.
cool.
I would, if you don't care about the movie, Jacques, just watch that scene. It is absolutely hilarious. Pac-Man's. All right. Yeah, we'll move on. It's Pac-Man, but so many good things to say about it. But we'll be here all night. Plus, we have 2 video game characters to talk about at the end, so we got to speed this up a little bit. This one,
we have giveaways as well. Don't forget about those.
That's why some of these we'll speed through. So I think from going forward, just a handful left. We'll speed through some. We'll talk about some other. This one, that could go either way on this. Some of you, I think this is going to be a mixed one. I don't think everybody's going to get it. Do that again. Wait, what was the timestamp on that? Let me just check. Yeah. It should be right here. Okay. More time. What is that? So everybody's saying, don't know this one. First comment. Okay. This is one I feel like I'm going to have to play a couple times. So let me go back. Play it. I'm actually surprised that some of you don't know this. Actually, when I think about... Oh, James knows. I like how
I'm
Sean said
confused.
Duke Nukem flushing the toilet. This is Sean. This is the other Sean's here now.
Yeah,
This is
Lost
Munch-
Munchies.
Lost
That's
Munch.
our Sean. That's one of my best friends.
Yes. Two Sean's here. So now we're going to refer to the Sean we've known for years as Sean 1, and now the other Sean's here, Sean 2. It's like what we do with the Georges. When there's like a couple Georges, we put numbers, initials, or whatever, so we don't confuse each other. All right, let's see. Squishy said Portal. Sounds like something is jumping. Mortal Kombat, old school shooter. Yeah, Portal. James said it's Portal. Everyone is right. Not everyone.
It is Portal. Okay.
It's Portal. Yeah. it's the Portal gun.
I
Portal.
I didn't know that because I don't have a lot. I played the original Portal, but not enough to like remember that sound.
Yeah.
So what do we have to say about Portal?
The sounds, everything in that. I like most. It's not so much sounds in that game. Well, it does have some really cool sounds, like the Portal we just heard. The Portal gun shooting that was the orange you heard. It shoot the orange and then it would shoot the blue. It has two different sounds. Fire it. Most when I think of Portal, it's the character. It's the GLaDOS and the
GLaDOS
Sentry things. Like, oh no, is somebody? No, because it's those kind of characters. But obviously, the main draw of the game was interesting physics puzzles that it has with the Portal. You got to jump through it at certain angles. Sometimes you had to like speed yourself up and jump through it and keep jumping through and jumping through it to get enough speed and fire, like shoot across it. And you had to do all kinds of crazy things out of certain situations. Coming from somebody who's doesn't like puzzle games usually. There are exceptions, and I think if I am to play a puzzle game, I think I'd probably usually prefer to play it in VR or something, or like I'm there and it's immersive. Normally, I tend to stay away from them, but Portal series is my favorite puzzle game, hands down. I like the feel. I like everything about it. But that's why I was surprised some of you didn't get it right away, because like you guys are all on Steam XP. I assumed all of you played Portal, but I guess not. So.
Yeah, James has an interesting fact. He said that the Portal gun was also used in the original Prey. You know, the one with the Native Americans?
He's right.
Yeah.
I've played it. There is a device you get that essentially does the exact same thing. That came out in 2006, that game. Portal was a few years later only. No, it was like 1 year later. So it was a coincidence. It's one of those things where like the guys who were working on the idea of Portal, they were doing that, and the Prey guys came up with something too, just at the same time. They didn't know what they were doing each other. But you're right. There is a device in that is very similar to the Portal gun. The Portal gun is in Portal. Yeah.
When I think about Portal, the thing that stands out, well, there's the companion cubes. That's not a sound, but that's like iconic. The companion cubes. But I think of GLaDOS, like that song that she does, like where it's like, "I'm not even angry."
I love
you know
that
what I'm
song.
talking
Yes.
about? Yeah. So that's my kind of touchstone for that. But come and think of it, I was just Sean mentioned. What is it?
Sean said
cake. Yeah, the cake is a lie. Everybody knows that. Me and Sean are actually going to do a full playthrough of Portal 2 coming up, because it was on the Steam sale for like 99 cents, and I just bought him and me a copy, and I've never played it, so like I'm so excited to do a playthrough of that.
It's very good. I think I like, as much as I like the original Portal, Portal 2 has two campaigns in it. You have the single player one, and you have the co-op ones where you play as the robots. There's a cool thing about this. I have to say it. It's really cool. But there's a part in the game, like let's say you're Shell, the main character, the human you play as is Shell in the series. She's walking into this big area, and there's a side over here, way away from you, can't reach it, and then you look over and you see two robots going into it. The robots you play in co-op, and then when you play it in co-op, you look over the other side, you'll see Shell running over. So you kind of see each other briefly. Campaign. The co-op part over there, it's not somebody playing, it's just two AIs doing it. It's trying to simulate, like, at a certain point in the game, see each briefly. And you can miss it. It's not like something that's very obvious. So that's why I mentioned. I just ruined it.
No, I wasn't even listening to you.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I barely listen to you most of the time,
Okay.
honestly.
All right. So that's Portal. Yeah. Very cool. Love the sounds. All right. Next we have. Oh, Shock's gonna know this. Oh, Shock's, you're gonna know this instantly. The first 2 seconds. Let me get to it. This one might be a little loud, so I'm going to keep an eye on the audio, and I will adjust it accordingly. Here we go. All right, so clearly that's somebody crying. But what is it from?
I love that sound.
Urkel said my sister. Oh, God.
Damn, what's wrong with your sister, bro? What's going on?
Sean 1 said Bible Camp.
Bible camp.
Squishy Fox said Left 4 Dead. Squishy Fox, it's a witch from Left 4 Dead. Jason said Resident Evil 6. Now, when you say Resident Evil 6, like, what are you talking about in Resident Evil 6? Anything in particular?
It's the sound of me when I'm playing that game because it's the worst Resident Evil. Well, okay, I'm being a little unfair.
I mean,
maybe not the worst, but it's up there.
When it comes to like the high budget one, favorite of in the community, that is correct. Resident Evil, I thought also. Okay, we don't need to play it again because it's just that there was a different sound I didn't want to play that gets really loud, so I cut it off because it gets louder. I just wanted to make sure, but that was enough. I think that's perfectly enough. Forget about that witch and Left 4 Dead. Okay, Jacques, what is it?
It is the witch from Left 4 Dead.
Yeah,
good job.
Very good.
It's I just love everything about the witch. Like from the when you encounter her, well, you don't see her first. That's what's good about the sound effect and why it's so effective. You always hear her first. And she is like probably next to the tank, like the most dangerous enemy in the game.
Yeah.
So you want to, like, when you hear that sound, you're like, oh shit, everybody stop.
Turn your
Turn
lights
off the flashlights.
Where is
Be
she?
quiet. Let's creep through this environment until we can locate her. And because if you get near her at all,
instant down.
When
she touches you,
she will get up and she will, because she's rocking back and forth. She's like sitting on the ground. She's crying. And there's this ominous red light on her. And then if you startle her, she will immediately get up and just start like clawing you to death, like furiously, like Wolverine, and you'll be dead like very quickly.
It's even more terrifying if you're the last survivor, because she can down you instantly if she touches you. And there's nobody there. Because it's not so bad when there's 4 of you and there's nothing around, special affected, and if you do trigger the witch and you're just dealing with her, someone's going to take the hit. But then everybody just blasts the shit out of her, and then you'll be able to pick up the guy who's down. But during a match, like if you're playing a versus match against humans, and I've done this actually when we used to play this in League, Jacques. I don't know if you remember this, but there was times when I was the smokers, the one with the long tongue that could drag guys. I would literally be by the witch waiting for somebody to come, and then I would drag them in. Smoker.
Yep. Yeah, there was so many cool things you could do, like strategic wise in that game when you're doing versus like that, like, or the smoker like pulling somebody off of like the edge of something, like, and that just creates so many extra problems for the survivors. But yeah, this I just love the witch. She's just so cool. There's something about Left 4 Dead I want to talk about in a little bit, but we'll like wait till we get to that. It's revolving around game nights. I do want to address game night because I haven't forgot about game night, guys.
Yeah. We'll get into that towards the end. And I just real quick, see here. James said it's not that baby thing from Resident 7? ?
No, but
sounds
I can see why you would think that. That it's kind of, it doesn't sound exactly alike, but it's kind of similar. Okay. That thing is creepy.
X1 254 on my timestamp. All right, this one is a little tricky because it could be from a few things. I think some might get a little confused with this, but if you are a fan, you'll know what it is. The game is from. Here we go. All right. Clearly, it's something ticking down, and it's an explosion. What is it, guys?
Well, you shouldn't have said clearly, Mike, because like some people might have not gathered that.
Well, I mean, something blows up. I don't know what else that could possibly be, but all right.
Seems like a lot of people have the answer. Maybe.
Okay, you say Crash Bandicoot. What is it in Crash Bandicoot? Can you at least give me that? What is it in Crash? Who's the first one who's going to answer it? What is the what? Okay, James said it. TNT. Sorry, Ali, he beat. But yeah, Crash Bandicoot, the TNT ticking down and exploding. That's what that is. Lots. There was other iconic sounds I was going to add into this, but if I put them all together, most of you got it anyway. It would have been a lot easier. So TNT got the Aku Aku mask, the thing that makes a sound, and then you got Crash spinning and have him do kinds of sounds with his mouth. You got the Wampa fruit you grab and all. Lots of cool iconic sounds from the series. Once again, there are a few Crash games on the 60. That's what I've been told, but I've never played them. But for the most part, the Crash series has been very consistent. I think all the PS1 games, except for Crash Bash, that party game was bad, but most of them are good. It has a pretty solid track record, and it's always, I hear that TNT because you hear it a lot throughout, constantly bouncing off of boxes and stuff, and always TNTs, the red ones. Don't step on the green ones though. So the nitros, you touch those instantly. TNTs, I think it gives you a 5-second timer. That sounds right. I think I'm right about that. You guys can correct me. Well, if I was paying attention listening, it actually tells you by the sounds, but I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, it's Naughty Dog's first successful series. They were the ones who originally did it. They made Crash Bandicoot. It's kind of funny to think, Jacques. Think about it. They made Crash Team Racing, the original one. This one was made by Naughty Dog. They made a racing game.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
that's why a lot of people joke like, I want to see a Last of Us kart racer.
I'd play that.
I legit would play that.
I would so play that. If you're driving around trying to avoid the clickers and the infected as you're racing through a track, I would love that. That sounds
amazing. Like, I'd love to see Naughty Dog kind of just go outside of their, like, you know, modern strengths and just do something, like, very silly.
Right. I see Sean V2 said, this was pretty sweet, guys, but I got to go take care of everyone. Remember, Sean, message me after the show anytime. I won't be able to get to you right away, but you were picked to win a game, so just hit me up and I'll figure out what game that is. Most likely Monday. Tomorrow, a busy day, but yeah, thank you for tuning in.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for showing up, Sean. Like, take it easy, man. Thanks for the follow, and we hope you enjoy the game that you get.
Why are we saluting him?
I don't know. I just like doing this because it's cool. You can do this. You can do the two fingers.
I like
Sean
the two fingers. But I'm not. Now
two fingers is
he's
less
not
formal.
A major or someone ahead of me. I'm not a private and he's a sergeant or something.
Okay, look, if there's any like former military like out there, are you offended by me doing this 2-finger salute?
Isn't it like more like that?
Yeah, that's the formal version. I'm not doing that. I'm just doing like a little casual version, okay?
Yeah. I
would think that's less offensive.
All right. Not much to say about Crash. Let's move on. This one. This is the most probably important one of the night. Everyone, I need everyone to pay attention to this one. Okay? Getting ready. Here we go. Okay. Guesses. What do we got here? Flamingo. Cobra chickens. Okay. Our overlords. Bingo. Okay. What do you think, Jacques? I'm going to get a few more.
It does sound like birds. Like, my initial thought was like Untitled Goose Game, but it could also be chickens. But it didn't sound quite like chickens. It sounded a little more like, I don't know, goose-like or...
Okay.
I don't know the game. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Seagulls, maybe. Okay. Let's just stop here for a second. That was a joke. I literally found flamingo and just stuck it in here. It's not from a game. It's not from a game at all.
So, like, who said Mingo? Chuck said Mingo. He was like totally right, and so did Urkel. Urkel said it first. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I've never heard a flamingo.
I don't.
I didn't know that's what they sound
like. I got a clip of it of YouTube. That's what it's. Maybe somebody messed up and it's a different bird. Very possible, but what I was looking for, what I was trying to get was flamingos. I believe it's flamingos. We can compare the sounds later if we really care that much. But no, that was a joke. We're going to move on to the next one.
Now you guys know, like when you hear that sound, much like the Reapers, you know it's over. So there you go.
Okay. All right, here's one. Now this has other sound effects in the background. It's kind of hard for me to get a clean sound, so just focus on the main sound. All right. Two different things. By the way, this is two different things I want you to answer in a single sound bit. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you are going to know. All right, two different things here. What are these two things? What are they?
I think I know.
Star Wars. Jones said Halo. Urkel said Simon Whip, then a door. Interesting. And it's very specific too. I appreciate it. That's a lightsaber and a blaster. A sword and needler. Jason said Star Trek. Well, not Star Trek. I can say that. You guys, I'll let Jacques guess and then see if anybody else says something. What are the two things?
I believe Cody is right. I do believe it's Halo. I think the shotgun is first, like just the standard like shotgun that the UNSC uses. And I think the second one it's definitely a Covenant weapon. It sounds like an energy weapon. Do you want me to name the specific weapon?
Yeah, name. Okay, I think that's Halo. It is from Halo. What are the two weapons?
Because it could be the Needler, but I'm not sure if it's the Needler or like the rifle, like some kind of energy rifle. I don't know.
Okay.
What is it?
First one is one of the energy swords swinging around.
Oh, okay.
The second one, I believe, to be specific, it's the energy sword from Halo. The second one is the Needler. Not sure which Needler, but it is the Needler. So
I heard a shotgun cock and a blast. So
well, when you heard that sound, I believe I saw it when I was actually
okay.
It was actually the sword lunging and hitting the guy and up again. So that's why I was trying to say just focus on the main sound. Okay,
so play that again for me because I want to hear that, knowing that knowledge.
Okay, so at the time, 47, 346 because it played a little early this time. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, I hear it now. Yeah. I was paying attention to the wrong sound. That's definitely the energy sword.
Yes.
And that's definitely the Needler too. I can hear that more clearly.
I'm not sure which Needler it is. It's definitely the default one, but I'm not sure which game. Like, because the Needler kind of sounds the same and all. So I can't answer. But
you'd have to be a really hardcore fan to name exactly which game it was.
Yeah, I do know that is the energy sword from Halo 2. That I do know.
Okay. The energy sword is my favorite Halo weapon of all time. Like, that thing is just so cool. There was like I jumped on Master Chief Collection just for like some solo matches, like maybe a year or so ago. And dude, I got the energy sword. It was just solo deathmatch, and I must have ran through like 12 guys without getting killed. And when you get the invisibility too,
oh no,
dude, it's over. It's over. You're the predator at that point.
Yeah, you always loved using the energy sword. I was more of the gravity hammer guy because I just liked. Not only did I like taking you out, once you get completely eliminated, I want you to go flying into the air, stratosphere.
Yeah. I was really disappointed with Halo Infinite that they really toned down the physics on the gravity hammer. Like dudes don't go flying like they used to.
Right.
I also like doing the grav hammer jump where you would like hit the ground at the right point and you'd go jump like flying back. Yeah.
Yeah, just so many. I mean, there's the plasma pistol sounds in Halo. Even just something as like subtle as like the Wraith rolling up makes like that really low hum sound as driving by. Yeah, I mean, it's Halo. I mean, Halo is in a weird place now. Future of it, I couldn't tell you on. I think I could see it going either way. I could see it possibly. I think it could be successful again.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I mean, I'm not saying 343 should stop making Halo, but I do think Microsoft I've said this before, they definitely need to get a secondary developer. Developers, get a little pressure off of 343. See what someone else can do. Doesn't have to be a Halo, it doesn't have to be Halo 6 or whatever they want to call it. Just some in between Halo game, a little side story game. Let them like it's software. Let them have fun with it. You own them now, Microsoft.
Yeah, Halo will come back around. They just have to treat it right. I don't feel like they've treated it right for a while.
No.
Despite me liking Infinite, I really truly did like the campaign and the multiplayer. I think it's some of the best combat they've ever made.
Yeah.
But they just didn't support it enough at launch, and too many people fell off. And there were flaws with the campaign. It was not perfect, but more biomes would have been nice, more variety. Still great though. Still enjoyed it, but I think it's kind of seen as like a boomer shooter. Like I think a lot of the younger generations don't get Halo, and that's not their fault. I think that's Microsoft's fault. I still say it's so puzzling that they have treated their Mario, that's their Mario, their mascot. They've treated him the way they have.
Right.
I think 343 has held on to that way too long, and I really hope someone else gets a crack at it. Like you said, id, that was I want id to take a crack at it because Doom is phenomenal. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And I was speaking of that. Have you been watching season 2 of the Paramount show?
I'm waiting for it to finish. Has it finished yet?
Okay, I don't know. I haven't been watching it because I'm too afraid. I just the first season. No,
I will watch it once they have all the episodes up. I will 100% watch it. I just don't feel like doing that every week thing, especially when they announced with Fallout. All the episodes. When I'm just like, I don't want to do this every episode. Shit, this isn't cable.
I agree. I'll just wait till it's done. I'll probably check it out of sheer curiosity.
So due to time, I'm just gonna do. I had 5 more, but we're just gonna do 1 more. Then we're gonna move on to the video game character thing I wanted to do, and then we'll wind up the show. All right. So this one. Oops, sorry. This one I feel. Timestamp. 506. Some of you are gonna know this, but it's not an instant. It's not an instant. You're not gonna immediately figure it out. But some of you will definitely know the sound. I'm going to play it right now. Okay, where's the sound? Hold on, let me look. Oh, not that one. That's not the one I wanted to do. That's not the one I wanted to do. But that's Kirby. I was going to skip Kirby. That's not the one. Hold on a second. Hold on. Do I have it in here? Hold on. Let me try it again. Play it. There it is. That's the one I wanted to do. That sound. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to play Kirby. Yes, but that was Kirby before. But this sound. What is this sound, guys? I will play it again. What is that? Sounds like I hope you're not referring to the Kirby sound again. This is one I'm going to have to loop a couple times. Okay. And one more time. All right, guys, what is that sound? Ridley from Metroid. Okay. Sounds like a Pokemon. Like I said, I'm not sure if you're referring to the sound or the previous one. I looked at the timestamps wrong. Sabler. No. Ixia. Maybe it's Sabler. Who is Sabler, actually? I don't even... who's he referring to? Who's Sabler?
I don't know.
I don't even... Oh, saber. You mean as in like lightsaber? Okay.
Oh, okay.
A door opening.
Good guess.
Doc, do you know what this is?
I have no idea. I'm stumped. It sounds older. I know that because of the sound quality is a little bit like compressed.
I'll give you a hint. It's something that activates. And when it's activated, pauses everything, and it makes the sound when it pauses. That give anybody hints? It's from a game. They may have used the sound again, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think they did use it. But let's just say it's from a game from 2008. RPG. Nothing? Come on, guys. One's got to guess it.
RPG from 08. It's not a Mass Effect game, is it?
Besides Mario and Sonic, you did all games I haven't played. I think you've played this one. Not the Mass Effect map. It is a device. Okay, it is a... I'm not sure how it actually works exactly, but it's a device that is used that pauses everything, and you can lock on to the enemy that you're trying to attack, and you can pick which limb you want to hit.
That gives it away. That pretty much gives it away.
Right, what
do you want me to say it?
No, I want to see if one of them say it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much gave it away with that.
Well, I gave so many hints. I had to start throwing
obvious
ones in there. It's Fallout. It's the VAT system from Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout 3 specifically, though, right?
Yeah, I believe it's Fallout 3 specifically. I'm not sure. I think they've used the same sound in Vegas. I'm not sure about Fallout 4. I can't remember, but 3 was the one I was aiming for. Yeah, but it stops the game and then makes that sound, and you lock on. I didn't want to do the follow-up sounds because I think that might have given it away. But yeah. He says, "Oh man, how did I miss this one?" I haven't played Fallout either. I like RPGs, so maybe you should check that one out.
Yeah, but she might have a problem with like first-person shooters and.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Although, like that might be a decent one since it does stop time and you can kind of aim. It's not like, you know what I mean. It's kind of is a little easier to follow. It's not like just free-flowing gun combat.
That's true. Yeah, it is so much. It may look like a shooter, but it is by no means a shooter. No, doesn't play like that because it's. And we were just talking about this actually earlier, Jacques. You know, we were saying about combat that's free action and turn-based. Fallout kind of has that a little bit in the shooting because you have to, if you use the VAT system, if you literally stops the game, then you can just pick what you want to attack, shoot. If you decide to fire, attack that way, you can free attack, but if you want a more accurate and deadly shot, you're going to have to use the VAT system. Fun fact, sure, Jacques knows this. The VAT system was created because the aiming mechanics of Fallout 3 is not that great. That's why it's there.
Bethesda jank.
And it worked because it's like, oh, it's from the Pip-Boy, and it's all the technology, and it's cool, and it actually winds up working out nicely, but that's essentially why they made it.
That might be one of the best examples of like something where the developers just could not get it to work, and it actually ended up working in its benefit, I think.
Made it into turn-based combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of sounds of Fallout. That's one of many. I think of the sound. It's a tune, and if we could do one for, I think that's tunes. I don't know if I can do tunes because of copyright shit. That's music, you know, like with the Valerian trailer. They played music over it. I shut that off. But when it comes to like tunes, I think of the upgrade. When you level up in Fallout 3, like insane horror. I feel like you just conquered you'd feel like you just climbed the mountain kind of music. Some very exciting. I couldn't even. Don't make me hum it. I'm not gonna. But just look it up. But yeah, it is. I mean, it's Fallout. Not much to really say there. I like it. It's one of those acquired. I think Fallout's an acquired taste series. I totally get why some people don't like it. I totally get that. It's very glitchy, buggy series. Like all of it's the Bethesda charm, glitchy, charmy, fun. Like in Skyrim, you see a dragon flying backwards. Fallout, Deathclaw hits you. You go flying 200 yards up into the air. How it is. Glitchy game. But always had a good time with that series. And we're approaching 3 hours. That was fun.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I enjoyed that.
It wasn't as much work as I make it out to be. Compiling all of them, and then just I went into a video editor and put them all together, spaced them out, and then just made the file into an MP3 audio file, and then just dragged it into here, and then just wrote down the timestamps. Well, I had to go get the clips, but yeah, we just hit 3 hours. Yes, that's why we're going to move on to the final part, which we were going to do last week. So we'll kind of briefly do these, but this is actually a segment. Not a segment. I don't want to call it. But this is something if you guys like it enough, I'll introduce it. Maybe not every week, maybe every other week, or it'll be a returning thing. So I'm going to switch the windows right now. So let me find that.
Yeah, I think people underestimate sound, though, just like putting a cap on that. Because, like, just here, do an experiment. Take away the sounds and see how much you enjoy whatever it is. It's like a completely different experience. Because you're so used to those sounds. Like, they just evoke, like, emotions in us. You know, like, think of, like, Mario, like, hitting the doo, 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 when he's jumping, you know? Like, take that away and you'll be like, what? This seems off. So yeah, it's just it's so important, man. I highly value sound, especially in my horror games, because I think it's even more important in horror games to create that sense of atmosphere.
Extremely
like
important in there.
Like with the witch, like we were saying, Left 4 Dead. You know, without that crying, she's not as near scary. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So that was fun. And it's something like he was saying, audio is so important in video games. It is very, very crucial in a lot of ways. And it brings the game worlds more to life than you. I mean, not to say like visuals. Yeah, visuals, all of it. When it's all combined, everything's running and firing on all cylinders. It's even peanut butter and jelly. But audio, you'd be surprised. I've played games where everything is just amazing about it. And then the audio sounds like shit. I played those games.
Like I've been seeing like some people hit our whatever they're called channel points.
We have to fix those. We don't.
Yeah, that's one of the many things we need to do. We do not have those activated right now, so we apologize. If you have, I don't know if we can refund them points. But...
I'll do something for you. You said don't hit this button. I can hit a button right now. I'm not supposed to hit it. Turn my light off. Sorry about that. I forgot to disable the.
That's very anticlimactic, Mike. I don't think they pay 4,000 channel points for you to turn off your light.
Is there a way to refund it? I don't know.
I think there might be. We'll have to look into that because I'll go back and see, and we'll see if we can refund those. Because 4,000 points, that's a lot. What Urkel just spent.
Yeah, that's all right.
Jessica's sitting on 10K points. Yeah, guys, we'll probably be changing what they actually are.
It's a lot
because that was kind of from like our previous incarnation. We still have those on there, but we're definitely going to be changing those. Well, if you guys have any suggestions, like let us know.
We have to do one for like 100. We have to do one for like a really high number to redeem a Steam game.
Yeah, we'll do something.
Like some really high number. Everybody's just gonna like not touch their points. So. All right. Save your points because that'll be one of them. But yeah, we need to redo the whole thing. I apologize for that. I forget. I'm still active. I'm still learning all this stuff. You just be happy that any of this is working.
There's only 3 of us trying to run this whole empire.
Yes, exactly. All right. So this part, just to end the show before we end the show. Well, I wanted to, like I said before, something we may do maybe every episode or every once in a while, but I want to get feedback from you guys. We're going to highlight 2 video game characters. as you can see, we're at that screen again where we're showing Valerian. So something's gonna be playing here. So we're gonna show. I'm gonna have to fast forward and move it around because it's a lot of gameplay stuff. So I'm gonna move around.
By the way, Mike, you realize we have not been on the screen for a while. Well, we're small, but we're not on the big screen.
Oh no, I know. No.
Okay.
I just switched. Sure. I just switched it to this. We've been on the big screen the entire time. During the sounds, the bigger one. I just switched it to. I was just saying this is the one we were using for Valerian. So we're back to the screen. Anyways. Throwing my flow off, and I'm just kidding.
I'm good at that. I love just throwing you off.
Okay. So, 2 characters. We're gonna look at the first one right now. No audio. Now it's gonna start. Okay, I'm gonna have to zip, fast forward around here. So, a second. So it said Lucasfilm there. Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Well, it's a Star Wars character, clearly. We're gonna talk about Cal Kestis for a second. So here's some footage you can see of Cal. Hold on a second. Where is it? Okay. For some reason, I don't see it right now. I must have got rid of it, but it was going to be text there saying Cal Kestis. It doesn't matter. Well, this is Jedi Survivor, actually. Looking at right now. So, go ahead, Jacques. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, yeah, it's Survivor. Yep.
Yeah, it's Survivor. I do have some clips of Fallen Order here. I'll switch to that in a second.
This is like the very beginning of Survivor.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'm going to switch to Fallen Order because this is the most recent one. But we'll go switch to Fallen. All right. So Cal, Jacques, what was your first initial reaction to this character that the Jedi hiding from fire during Jedi Purge times? It's just taking place between 3 episode 4. How did you feel about this character when they first brought him? Star Wars.
I like Cal Kestis. I think he's a cool character. I like the actor because I've liked. I'm not sure how to say his last name, but it's Cameron Monaghan or Monaghan or something like that. I liked him from Shameless.
Yes. The
American remake or whatever of Shameless. He's a really good actor. I think he's a cool character as Cal Kestis. And what I like about video games with storytelling is, in general, you just have more time to tell the story. So when you're comparing that to like the Star Wars movies or TV, it's like I am more apt to like these video game characters because you just can go way more in depth with the character.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like between Fallen Order and Survivor, I would say probably, if not the best, like definitely two of the best Star Wars games ever made. And I think a lot of that is just, like I said, how deep they can go into the characters. I think Cal Kestis, with him, they really explored an interesting part in the Star Wars universe timeline, where it's like, it's right after Order 66. I haven't seen a lot of the extended universe stuff, or whatever they're calling it. I'm not as much into Star Wars now, but I think with this, it's like, you get to see him as a kid, and you get to see the whole Order 66 go down.
Yep.
I don't know. Have we seen that before this game? Have we really seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've seen it in some of the animated stuff.
I mean, you see some in Revenge of the Sith, but like...
Yeah, and Rebels, I think, and Clone Wars, and TV series, and some other stuff, we've seen it a little bit.
But like, for me, I've never seen it from like a Padawan's perspective. Like, because then you really see like how fearsome the what would become the Empire is, when you just see like this kid, like pretty much he has Force powers, but he's not super adept yet, but he's just running for his life, and you actually get to be in his shoes.
The reason why I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say real quick before the reason why I'm staying on this scene I really like with Cal, if you're looking right now, Jacques, when the second sister shows up. And you can hear it more in the audio, but during this scene, he is scared. He's shaking. This is the first time he's actually having to go up against somebody with a lightsaber. She's just like, oh yeah, I know that form. He's like, who taught you? Master. Like it's
not only that, but he hadn't used his powers in a while.
yes, so
So he's and Trilla, that's another character I love. The second sister. Like she's pretty fearsome too. Like how she just floats down like that. It's like so badass.
yeah, I love that.
And this is also the beginning of the first game, so it's not really spoilerish, but spoiler alert, he gets his ass kicked by her.
Yeah, right here, right there.
So
this
it's
is in the trailer, that's why I'm showing a lot.
But I think Cal has like a very nice arc. I have completed both of the games, and I think like they explore his character even further in Survivor, and I think he has a nice arc. And they're not over. I don't think they're over yet.
There's one more.
There probably will be a third one. But yeah, just very interesting character. Like, what do you think, Mike?
Oh, it's having. I've always wanted to see because the original movies didn't show this, but we all kind of realized, and I know the books kind of try to do it, but those weren't canon. I like how he still has his lightsaber on in here. But it's I wanted that there was more Jedi hiding, and I always wanted to see another story of what they were doing. Shit was going down, and they did that with Ahsoka a little well, which is nice, and especially not I'm not just referring to the new show that's out, but they things. It's not. I never bought the whole there's only just Luke and Yoda ones left. Like that's horseshit. Like, they're saying there's thousands in the old movies. They're saying there was thousands. Yeah, there's still a couple of them. But yeah, it's just nice to see someone who's not uber powerful. Like it's just he's like just your average. Like he like later in the games, light spoilers. I mean, can we show it? I'm going to it. I don't care.
Like he gets outclassed many times.
We're going to the Vader scene. I'm sorry, we got to see the Vader scene. If you haven't played this right now, just don't look at it. We got to see the Vader scene. I love this scene in the game.
This is the end of the first game. Huge spoiler.
Yeah. So, well, Vader doesn't show up yet here, but this is when Cal just there is a connection between these two characters. That's why they're talking.
She is sort of like I would say she is sort of like a dark mirror to Cal. Like what could have become of Cal if circumstances were slightly different.
Rico. This is the scene. You know what? Yeah, I would love to put the volume up, but you know how Star Wars is. I'm not gonna put the volume up.
You don't want to mess around with Disney.
So it's actually fine because we're on Twitch, but I know this will be posted on YouTube. When Vader shows up here, because he's force choking her right now, that's why she can't move. This is one of my favorite Vader scenes, and just Cal, clearly Cal doesn't have a chance against Vader. It's just
I would put this up there with that Rogue One's Vader scene.
Yes.
When this happened, because I was not honestly legitimately I was not expecting Vader to show up in this game.
No.
And when he does, it was like just mind blowing. The whole sequence from beginning to end was just like, oh my god, this is one of the best endings I've ever experienced in a video game.
He tosses her over the shoulder. He's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he just tosses Seer, and Cal's left alone to fight Vader, and he's severely outmatched. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah, we'll skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, this part is pretty cool. I like this part coming up. Yeah, I know we're just kind of gagging over. We're not really talking. There's not much else to say about Cal, but
I do think there is. Like, I like how they explored his PTSD from Order 66. True. I really appreciate that part of his character. Because I don't know. I feel like they're able to go a little bit more mature in these games than they are the Star Wars movies.
I agree.
Yeah. So, and they just continue on down that line in the sequel, Survivor.
Like how BB-1 shocked Vader. Yeah, he's just a great. He's a very cool character, and you know what? I know some people don't want this, but I want it. I'm going to pause the thing right now. We're going to switch to the next screen. Okay, so that we're on to from him. The last thing I will say, I know people don't want him in Star Wars. Like there's people who are saying I don't want a live action version of him. Like, no, just leave him in the games. He looks exactly the same. He's at the same age. bracket as the character from the game. I'm totally fine if they do something with live action, but I'm on that side of the fence if they want to. But even if
I
it's
think it would
just
be
him popping up.
Yeah, I think it'd be a real missed opportunity if we don't see him in live action, because the actor, I mean, the likeness is based off the actor. The
Yes.
actor is still a very well-known actor who is working regularly.
Yep.
He loves, like, he's very into, like, the fan community of Star Wars. Like, it just seems like a no-brainer. Like, and I would think with Dave Filoni behind things now, he would for sure want to get Cal in live action.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, Cal Kestis and BD1. I'll throw just a nice little combo. Have a great I Jedi Survivor, very good game. I still prefer Fallen Order over it, but still a very good solid sequel. Just you get past the glitches and the shit had with all the bugs and all that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the third game. It is I think when this is all done, when this trilogy is finished, if the third one is solid or amazing or the best one, it's going to be the best single player Star Wars video game. Because remember, I know there's Rogue Squadron, that would be the other one. There's not many trilogies in the year with Star Wars. KOTOR stopped at 2. Not counting the Old Republic, that's its own little thing. Lots of 2s or 1s, one-offs. This is one of the few trilogies we're going to get in the video sphere. Jedi Knight being one of them as well. But yeah, I think this will be the best Star Wars video because it actually was able to.
What do you think they'll call the third game? I'm voting for Jedi Deadeye Redemption.
Yeah, let's go with that. Why not? Go with that. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now this one, last one. There's only 2. We're only going to do 2. All right, hold on. Let me just play it. Oh, well, that kind of gave it away. Okay, so this is in Halo. We're gonna talk about Cortana.
Oh, okay.
So, gonna skip around here until they show Cortana. That's what she looked like originally.
Yeah, she looked a little bit different. They changed her color too.
So, yeah, Cortana. Always liked AIs. Especially loved hologram-looking AIs. I like artificial intelligent characters in a lot of games, stories, movies. Cortana being probably the first relevant one in video games that I remember. I know there was more before her, but this was the one that sticks out to me, like the first one in the game sphere. Kind of skip ahead so she looks a little better. Yeah, there you go. That's better.
Oh my god. Was that the first game where she's all green?
Yeah, that was the OG Xbox one.
God, it's been so long since I played Combat Evolved.
So, yeah, it is. What's your thoughts on Cortana? I want to hear your thoughts first. What do you think about
Cortana? Yeah, I think she was cool back then. I still think she's cool. I also like AI characters. I think that I think the purpose of her character is really to just add more depth to Master Chief. Like, he is sort of like she is someone he can play off of because he shows so little emotion.
Yeah.
And I believe that's probably why they created her. And it's very effective. Like, I'm very invested in their relationship over the course of the series. She's hot. I mean, I know she's an AI, but she's hot. She's sexy.
Like, you could see, like, they start to up that a little bit as the series goes on. Look at this one right here. This is Halo 3.
Which one was it? Was it Halo 2 where it was just like, it was one of the Halos where it was like ridiculous. It was like just
Halo 3 and 4 was ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah.
They were showing ass shots.
So yeah, but she's a cool character. And I think Jen Taylor does a fantastic job as her voice actress. So much so that they brought her back for the live action series just because, like, she is the voice of Cortana. Like, you could not get anybody else.
Yeah. You had to. I mean, I don't know why people complain about. Of all the things to complain about in the TV series, Cortana's appearance is fine. Like, everybody was freaking out. Like, that's the least of that show's problems. Why are we focusing on that? I wish it could look different. Yeah, sure. I wish it looked more like the game's character, but
I believe they changed her a little bit for the season 2.
Oh yeah, that makes sense because she would change her looks throughout the series, so they could get away with that easily. Yeah,
I think it was really interesting. Although, like, I don't think that the 343 games are as good as the Bungie games. I
right.
do like how they explored like her rampancy.
Hmm.
I think that was like an interesting angle for like an AI storyline, and it kind of it had like very significant like ramifications for the universe.
Yep.
So yeah, what do you think about her?
Um, I'd always liked in the Halo series that they can only use the AIs for so long because they would start to go crazy. Like the programming, they only had like a limited lifespan. Cortana was kind of going. This, as you could see here, she's like freaking out and getting angry and stuff. Like, they were supposed to be commissioned. Is that the word I'm thinking of?
Yeah,
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
decommissioned at a certain time, and she's going way past her point. What happens with her in Halo 5 is ridiculous. But I'll leave it at that.
It's an interesting idea because, like, with humans, we can only hold so much information in our brains, and it's kind of taking that, but like on a grander scale with AI. Like, what would happen if there's just too much information for even an AI to hold? They
Right.
essentially are going insane, and it's like, and it's almost like she's like if a human was getting Alzheimer's or something or dementia.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're almost like aware like of this impending doom, and it's kind of the same for her, and like how they kind of showed how that affected Master Chief, because there was kind of like, I mean, they weren't overt with it, but there's a lot of insinuations about more of a romantic tinge to their relationship as the time went on.
Right.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, there's a scene at Halo 4, when they're in that little weird bubble headspace area that Cortana made last time she talks to Master Chief or John. Or it's funny to say this in an intimate way. There's a scene where she's able, in this little area that she created in his mind, she was able to like touch his the shoulder of his armor, and just like flutters. I'm just like, all right, these characters, they never quite go into it deeply, but these characters are at the bare minimum. Well, they do go into the fact that they do care about each other. They were kind of hinting at something else, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go there. So,
I mean, there's definitely a lot more depth to the Halo series than appears on the surface.
Yeah. I wish it's a really rich and unique universe, and I really just writing was a stronger single player. Like you have, I think you have all the ingredients there, but I just feel like the main plot of there's lots of story elements that are lacking. I feel like it's always rushed. They're just kind of, I don't want to say half-assed, but it feels like the writing is just not hitting the marks it should be doing. Halo game. Even though you have all the ingredients of the unit that make it magical. There's something, for me, there's always been something missing in the stories. I don't know if you felt that way. And not talking about the books, just talking about the games.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But fortunately, there are a plethora of books out there that go more in depth. That's probably what you're looking for.
Yeah,
I've read a few
more
of them.
rich. I want more rich story in the games. Just a little bit more.
Yeah, I get it. Overall, I'd say I'm satisfied with it. Could it be better? Yeah, but
oops,
it's still a shooter game. It's like they're focusing more on like the actual gameplay, which is fine.
I just played Sam Fisher's Goggles accidentally. Sorry about that.
It'd be funny if the screen just went green.
I could have done that. That's a lot of extra work, but yeah. All right, well, it's 3 hours and 23 minutes. We really have turned into a 3.5 hour show.
Yeah, man, we probably could have cut this last segment. I'm surprised people are even still here. We appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah, but the reason why I wanted to keep, I was going to push it, but that was last week we were supposed to do it, and then the whole thing crashed. I was just like, well, I made all of this. I want to use it. So, could I have waited? Yeah, that's okay. But yes, thank you everybody who tuned in. This was a fun time, and appreciate you guys always popping in here. But before we head out, Jacques, well, a couple things we want to go over real quick. One, I want you to pick 2 more people from the chat.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see here now. We will pick I will pick, let's say, Chuck.
Fuck.
Yeah. And for the other person, we will pick. Let's pick. I don't know. Let's pick. How about Jason? Let's pick
Sure.
Jason.
Jason. Fairly.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Allie, Sean, Chuck, and Jason, you message me after the show. Anytime after the show. I'm not gonna message you because I'm gonna forget. But yeah, message me. I'll get you guys something. Name in your library. Now, real quick, you know what? I said I was gonna announce next week's games. Maybe I'll leave that a mystery until Monday. Save some time. I'll just announce the winner. What do you guys prefer? Do you prefer to wait on Monday for the grand post? What the new games are going to be, or do you like hearing it in the show? Let me know, because I need a little feedback on that. I like announcing the winners on the show, but maybe like announcing next week's. Maybe that's not it.
I did. Sean says, "This is my Sean." He says, "I just want your love."
Oh, you're not getting that.
And you can have it. You can have it anytime you want. But we're not talking about you. You're not getting a free game, so
Maybe
go play Battlefield.
if you're here more often, maybe you would get one. I'm just kidding. All right.
I think he lurks a lot.
Yes, he's a lurker. All right, so I like the sneak peek. All right, we'll do it then. Okay, so this week's winners: Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, George Morano. I'm always pronouncing names wrong.
Moreno?
Oh, I'm sorry. No. Let's stop that for a second. That's who donated the game. Thank you, George Morano, who donated Horizon Zero Dawn. The winner is Eric Stalker. He won Horizon Zero Dawn Complete. Congratulations, you'll find out Monday because I don't think you're. Destroy All Humans 2. We actually have 2 instead of 1 because someone slid in a copy literally today to say, hey, you can give this one out as well. I have an extra copy. So I was like, okay, cool. So that was Matthew Sargent. He provided another copy. The first copy was from us, and he gave another one. So we have 2 winners. Sean Kerr, which he's in here. He's getting 2 games. So that's Sean Kerr and Brian Carpenter getting a copy of Destroy All Humans 2. Next is Guilt. The winner for Guilt is Sean Tumberlin. And Search 2, the winner is Nall James Murphy. So there you go. I will get to them on Monday. You have to wait for the post. Ones who aren't here, now they got to wait. All right. So next week's games, interesting lineup here. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, donated by Dan Barr. Funny fact.
It's a great game.
I just put this in today. Giveaway document and he gave me these like a couple weeks ago and I just forgot. I was just looking through my old messages and I noticed I didn't put these in. I was like, oh shit. Now we do have there is a few other copies of Ritual of the Night we do have, but I figured to save them elsewhere. As an enthusiast, random whoever, just we'll do that because I don't want to blow all. So I know that. Into the mic. I know some of you have given a copy of this, but I just wanted to just. So yeah, Bloodstained Ritual Night, Dan Barr. Thank you so much, Dan. Brent, him a couple times past. Brent Shepens, he donated Chorus. Chorus is a arcade space shooter. Kind of plays like like the Jedi Starfighter series or something like that, but just more open. Actually, I don't want to say it's an open world one, but it gives you a lot of traveling options, switch around to different parts of the galaxy and big areas to fly around in. I beat this one. It's pretty good for what it is. I think it's underrated. Anyway, thank you, Brent. The next one is Midnight Fight Express. This one comes from Samuel Sino. Sure, I butchered everybody's name tonight, but
Pisano? Maybe it's Pisano.
Pisano? Yeah.
Pisano, yeah.
We'll go with that.
Maybe
yeah.
not. I don't know.
Marvel Midnight Express is an indie game. It's I played this a few years back on Game Pass. Kind of reminds me of John Wick a little bit.
Yeah.
Game starts off very slow. Don't let that stop you. If you can get past like the initial that game, I got hooked. Very good indie game. It feels like this one. Like I said, this one feels more like John Wick than that John Wick. Doesn't have the license. The last one is The Evil Within. One of Shock's favorites here.
I mean, I love it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's an amazing game. The sequel's even better.
I think the sequel is better. This one was provided by Sean. So let's give a shout out to all these guys. Dan, Brent, Samuel, Sean. Thank you so much for providing these games. About to James, if you're still here, now you're probably asleep. Thank you for that, James. I know you're here earlier. It's awesome of you. But yeah, you know what? I'm done. I am tired. I want to put the flamingo.
Can I just make a quick note?
You can go. I'm done. Yeah. I'm saying you can go as long as you want.
Yeah, so no, it's just gonna be real quick. I promise. We've already disrespected all of you guys' time enough already. So, no, I just wanted to give you guys an update about the game night. I have not forgot about it. I'm just figuring out some back end things and how it's going to work. I think I have finally figured that out. I am also working on rebooting our Discord. I have made a lot of headway in that, and I'm still doing a few more things, but I will give you guys the link to our Discord when I feel like it's in a good state, because we will be doing the game nights through the Discord voice chat. So look for an update soon. I don't know when, but maybe next week. I will definitely post on the Facebook private group when that is ready. But I will say, I can say, like, it is for sure going to be on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's settled. And the first game will be Left 4 Dead 2 that we will be playing. Speaking of that, we were just talking about Left 4 Dead earlier. So, and don't worry, like, if your game didn't get picked, that all those games that were on the poll, we'll be playing all of those at some point. So don't worry. Like, we'll get to a game that you like that you'll be able to play with us. So, yeah, just look forward to that next week. And that's it. I'm done.
So that's next week? Done?
Well, the game night's not next week, but I am going to give an update next week. Gotcha. Yeah.
April probably would be time this is going to happen.
Yeah.
There's another thing I want to throw all of that in at once into the pile. So,
because what I want to do is I want to get a bunch of people into our Discord first.
Yeah.
Like, so then they can have a reference. They can see where all the game night stuff is set up. Then once we get a bunch of people in there, like, then we will get the game night rolling. But it will for sure be like sometime in April. I can guarantee that. Like, I know I've been working slow, but we have a lot of stuff on our plate, so I do apologize for that.
Jones said my mic is cutting in and out. Is my mic cutting in and out? Anybody?
Not for me.
It might. Like, it's worth noting I have a noise gate on mine, so maybe I was talking a little too low, and it was kind of just like not hitting the right level. So that's probably just on me. He said a little. Yeah, that was definitely me. I wasn't talking loud enough. Not for me. No, you beat 2-1, Jessica. They're right. Yeah, it's the gate. So I'll have to adjust the gate a little bit. Yeah, a little too loud. Yeah, you basically have to put this like right up to your mouth or talk really loud. It doesn't matter. Of course, you have to have Flamingo here. Of course.
Yeah, I got to end the show with my Mingo buddy.
All right. Well, sure. You know what? Well, that's how we'll sign out. We're gonna raid somebody. Actually, it's anybody. Let me go look and see if anybody is raided.
Yeah, this would be awesome because we'd never get to do this. Let's for sure raid someone. Let me see if anybody's on.
Look on my Twitch right now. Mm-hmm. Look on my Twitch right now.
If you guys want to recommend anybody too, like if you guys put it in chat.
Nobody's, of course. Why is it nobody streams when
Well, I mean,
it is late.
I-
I know it's Saturday.
I do. There's somebody we could raid. Like they're actually from like Issa's community and
Okay.
Breen's community. They're playing Fortnite right now. They have 7 viewers. Mumble, Mumble,
Oh,
Mumble
Momo.
86.
Yes. Oh wait, I did see. You there?
Yep.
Okay, he is on. All right, I missed that one. So is it MUMBLE Mumble?
86 at the end of it.
86.
Yeah, Mumble 86.
All right, so we're gonna raid the guy, and I want you, when you guys raid him, I want you to all tell him. I don't know. Tell him something. I'm too tired to think about it, but show them some love. Cool community over there. I've watched the streams a few times. Very, very cool. Hope you enjoy them.
How about spam? The Mingos are coming. The Mingos are coming.
Yes, spam. Spam. The Mingos are coming, and join the revolution. And if you have a flamingo emoji, whip that as well.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
He'll have no idea what's going on.
Let's see if I successfully did it. Yeah, there we go.
Yep, it's happening. It's happening.
Rating in 8
Yes.
seconds, 7 viewers. All right. Oh well, once I click the button, it'll do it. So I'll say our goodbyes now. All right. Well, get that off the screen for the love of God. I have a little bit of professionalism here, Jacques. What is this? What are you doing here? The next, if Issa comes on again, you're gonna have to pull that out and just stick it in front of the camera, right when she joins.
That sounded dirty,
All right,
Mike.
that,
Watch it.
That did not sound right. Okay. Never mind. All right. Well.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for showing up. We
All
really
right.
appreciate it. We hope you had a great time.
Yeah, we're tuning out.
Mingo sends his regards.
That's. All right. Catch you guys later. You'll have a good one. Stay safe.